All right, we are live. We got a great panel for tonight. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to another session of the Gobble Clock Podcast. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show, number one Polynesian podcast in the world. Let's get it on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see some of you guys are already tuning in very early. Thank you so much for tuning in. For all you out there tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. We have, as you guys can see, we have a full panel. And we're going to have some great discussions tonight. And of course, to all my subscribers out there, the people that support and follow my channel, thank you so much for all your love and support. You guys already know what to do. If you appreciate the daily, weekly shows I do for you guys, definitely smash and press that like, subscribe button real quick so you get notifications when we do go live for future shows. Don't forget that this is a public show. Always appreciate your feedback and your perspectives and different opinions, whether you agree or disagree. Definitely drop what you guys think on the live chat. Always appreciate you guys. Show some love in the live chat. If you recognize some of these beautiful men and women, definitely drop some love on the live chat and support as well. But let me know what you guys think and drop some love in the live chat so we get that live chat popping. Don't forget that this is a public show. So if you're tuning in for the very first time, I do allow people to come on and be part of the conversation and join the discussion. So I will post the public link on the YouTube live chat. If you're watching this from Facebook, if you're watching this from Twitch, you have to come to YouTube. It'll be pinned to the top of the screen. Click on that link, and you'll be part of the conversation. So whether you agree or disagree, I do understand there's a lot of people that do agree with my views. I know I do have a lot of haters out there.
How dare you?
All right, to all my haters out there, whether you agree or disagree, I invite you to come on. I like to have a conversation with people that may disagree or have a different opinion. I challenge you to come on. I know a lot of you guys want to stay in my comments, want to stay in my DMs, but I challenge you to come on. Let's have an open conversation, and especially the people that disagree, and let's figure out why we disagree. All right, and of course, don't forget the super chat donations. Always appreciate your financial donations to my channel. I will be launching my podcast studio at the end of this year, going to 2023. Have in-studio live podcasts. Every donation will be reinvested to my content, so I give you guys the best content as I can and put in the work for you guys. So I appreciate your love and support. If you have a specific question, specific topic that you guys want us to discuss, or you want to hear from the panel of guests, you get the live response. Ask it through a super chat donation. I'll make it a priority. I put it in the top of the screen, give you a shout out, and we'll get a live response to reciprocate your financial support and your donation to my channel. But that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. As you guys can see, we have a full panel. Excited to definitely engage my panel of guests to hear what they have to say in the different topics that we're going to discuss tonight. I'll give a quick shout out to my panel real quick. All right, for making the time to be part of here. We're all tuning in from different parts of the world in America. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm excited to have you guys. And of course, as you guys see, some of the people, maybe you guys are new to my channel. So if you guys don't mind, give yourselves a quick intro to everybody that's watching this right now. What's your name, your age, what do you do, and what's your relationship status? I'll start with you, SoSodefff. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Oh, wow. I forgot all what I was supposed to say already. Well, my name is SoSodefff. Okay. So I kind of blew up and went viral like maybe 6 months ago on TikTok as a Filipino sensation from the city and the island. Conjoin. I'm 29 years old. I'm knocking on 30. It's right there. I have been divorced and I am married to the man of my dreams. So, was that everything?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right. Thank you so much, SoSodefff. Definitely excited to have you on be part of tonight's podcast. Let me pass it to you, Life with Marianova. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Marianova. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, same handle. TikTok is my largest platform. I have over 70,000 followers. So I would say, like, for as far as work goes, I have my own online store, fatkittyclub.com. Go check it out. And I work at a call center from home. And of course, I'm an influencer on TikTok, but they don't really pay you much. So yeah, I just use to promote my stuff, my business. I'm 28 and I am currently fuck ninja free.
Woo! All right.
Okay. Like it.
Woo! Hey, you got a sound effect for that one, sir?
I wish I had that woo the Rick James I'll just give you the horn,
I'll take it.
No worries. Thank you so much, Life of Marianova. Definitely excited to have you be part of tonight's podcast. Let me pass it with to Amber. Amber, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi guys, so my name's Amber. You can find me on TikTok as Amber Marie Relationship Coach or on Instagram as True Self Life Coaching. I am a Navy vet. I'm also a nurse and I do coaching as well. I am divorced, so I'm single right now. And I'm just all about happy, healthy relationships. Okay, that's my goal. That's my agenda, and that's what I'm here for. So.
All right. No worries, no worries. Excited to have you, Amber. Definitely excited to have you on and be part of tonight's podcast. And last but not least, a married couple tonight. Go ahead, Melanated and Married Podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick.
Hello there. My name is Damian Owens. This is my wife, Demetria Owens.
Hello.
We are Melanated Married People. We do the Melanated Married Podcast. We on all social sites. We're new to it. I'm 48.
I'm 39.
And what was the other question?
What we do?
Oh, I work and she stayed home.
I am a freight dispatcher and a freight agent.
Look. At home.
That's all right.
At home.
All right, no worries, no worries.
Hold on, how you say it? She has options. How about that?
All right, no worries. Excited to have you guys on, and definitely appreciate you guys to be part of tonight's podcast. And shout out to the guests. Thank you so much. I see you, BL17, on the live comments already. Said, "What's going on, Will and guests? Hopefully, we'll have some fun today." Yes, we're definitely gonna have some fun. Shout out to you, BL17, tuning in already live on the show. We're gonna have some good topics tonight. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start the conversation. I have a topic to discuss. I do have a video that I'm gonna react to. It's related to the topic that we're gonna discuss. So, it is a hot topic. It is a controversial topic. I like to start off my podcast hot. You know, this is the best way that I like to do it, to start those conversations. So prepare yourself for the conversation and the topic that we're going to start off. I'm going to play the video. It's about 59 seconds. I believe it's about 59-second video. It's from a popular podcast. I do see it going viral on TikTok. People always talk about it, but they had a specific topic they were talking about, and it's a really important topic, especially in the dynamic of today's modern dating 2022. So let me play the video. And, of course, everybody in the live chat, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And, of course, I will post a public link on the YouTube live chat pretty soon. So if you do want to jump on and be part of the podcast, just click on that link and you can jump on. And of course, definitely let me know what you guys think on the live chat as you guys react to the video. I'm going to put everybody on the panel on mute real quick, so that way the video has better quality for my live viewers. I'm going to put everybody on mute. Perfect. I'm going to play the video. And of course, if you guys want to react as well, let me know what you guys think on the live chat as I play the video.
How come women can't just say, listen, I want a man, instead of acting like y'all don't want a man and just want to be boss bitches?
Right.
That's what
Look, I have a kid. I used to be like that until I had my kid. Now that I have my kid, like I might be this, oh, I'm a boss bitch, but deep down in my heart, I would do absolutely anything to be at home and be like always with my child.
There you go.
But unfortunately,
and have a man protecting you. Stop acting like, stop leaving out the man part.
Right.
Because for you to be home with your child, that means you got a man holding them down, protecting you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right. And that shit's hard. Like, but unfortunately, since I'm by myself, I gotta hustle, you know. Yeah. But I would do anything to have a man like that.
That's what we saying. That's exactly.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for telling the fucking truth. God bless you for telling the truth. Talking about Instagram over a real nigga.
You did choose Instagram over a man.
Yeah, because unfortunately, like, that's a platform where I can make a living off and nobody's helping me because I don't have that protector yet. You get me?
So you don't think a man could provide and protect for you?
Yeah, but I just haven't found that guy yet. And
all right. All right. So that's the video that I went and saw. I saw going viral on TikTok, and it was a popular podcast that they I think from the Fresh and Fit podcast. But this is a topic I want to discuss with you guys. I do want to talk about the independent movement that because obviously I've been doing this podcast for a while. I talk to a lot of independent women, and I always hear from a lot of women. They say, I'm very independent. I don't need a man, right? But in the same sentence, they also say they still want to get married and they still want to find a man and want a man. But the same sentence, they will say, I don't need a man. So I guess my question, it's a two-part question, but the first part is I want to ask you guys, and the topic I want to discuss, if women out there, if they're independent, but they want a man, they want to get married, why is it so hard for them to admit that they need a man? If you don't want it, but why did they say I don't need it? Because oftentimes when I have conversations from the both sex, when I have conversations with a lot of men, For a lot of men, when they say, if a woman says, I don't need a man, for a lot of them, they say it's unattractive. But at the end of the day, I want to open up the conversation for you guys, what you guys think. I do have more opinions about it. But I want to talk about the independent movement for women out there. They say independent. There's nothing wrong being independent. There's nothing wrong for women to go out there, get their bag and be a boss bitch, whatever. Do what you do and hustle. I respect the hustle. But at the end of the day, a lot of these women will say, I don't need a man. And then get upset when men don't approach them. Right? Or men don't give them commitment. But like I said, if you want a man, why is it so difficult for a lot of independent modern women to say, I need a man and I want a relationship? But why do they have to take that very extreme route? So I just want to open up the conversation. Why is it hard for independent modern women to say, I need a man if they really want a man, but they say, I don't need a man, but they still want a man? So I'll start with you. Amber. Amber, what do you think about the video? You can share your reactions. And of course, what do you think about the topic? Why do a lot of independent modern women find it really hard to admit that they need a man if that's what they want long term? If that's why do they have to say I don't need a man? Go ahead, Amber.
It's funny because I had a feeling it was going to be that video and that podcast. Not a fan of his, but he makes sense in a lot of the stuff he puts out, and so I do understand that. And this is where modern day dating is right now. The mentality of I don't need a man, I want a man. But I believe the issue with that is the fact that there's a power exchange that women with this independent mindset have, where they're going to be giving up their power and their authority by saying they need a man. So that's where I've seen the big issue. And a lot of women who have this mentality, they also want a certain type of man. And those men that they want tend to be more traditional. And what that entails is being able to sit back and be quiet and listen, fall into that feminine role, fall into submission. And a lot of women have a huge problem with that. And so it is about a big power exchange. And I feel like that's what the issue is. So.
All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Amber. Let me pass it to you. Live with Maria Nova. What do you think, Maria? Oh, let me put you off mute. Go ahead.
Tons of videos on, situations like this. My biggest question is always why do men why is it such a big blow to your ego when a woman says she doesn't need you? Because nobody ever said that, we didn't want you. Like me, I would love to have a relationship, but I can do bad by myself. If you're not bringing anything to my life but problems, what good are you? So I really feel like it's not a matter of need. Why would you want to be needed? Why wouldn't you want to be wanted? You're here because I want you here. You're not here because of what you can do for me. So I really don't get the obsession with wanting to be needed.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Maria. We'll definitely circle back. I'll pass it to you, SoSodefff. What do you think, SoSodefff? Why do a lot of independent women and why it's hard for them to admit I need a man if they want a man?
Honestly, in my opinion, it's a traumatic response. So from the video, I actually relate to that heavily because I was in a marriage, it didn't work out, and I was raising 2 kids by myself. So not only, when a man came along, it's like, well, what do you have to offer if I could do this on my own? And it was my traumatic response. If I can already do for me and my kids, why does me simulating or making you think that I don't need you? Why does it bother you so much? That should, but now looking into it, I'm like, that it's not about the woman anymore and the women's traumatic response. It's about companionship because 2 people were put on earth to be together, not by themselves.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, SoSodefff. And let me pass it to you guys. Melanated and Married podcast. What do you guys think about the topic? Go ahead. Oh, let me pass it. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. I think it has a lot to do with if a woman actually admits it. She's kind of lowering her standards in a sense, admitting something like that. Mm-hmm. And the way I was raised, I had both my parents. My mother actually passed when I was 17, but I learned the majority of everything from my daddy. He always said, You want a man to take care of you, but make sure that you have the ability to take care of yourself in case something does happen. But first and foremost, you want a man to take care of you. So, get out the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, I don't have a problem admitting that. And it's not going to sway me either way, because if that man, not boy, if that man is really into you, he's going to respect that you need him. A boy is going to be like, oh, well, you just want whatever. No, bro, I need you. But I need you to know that you got to do what you're supposed to do to make me feel secure at the same time.
My wife is on fire.
Because when I'm not feeling secure, that means, okay, that means I got to go out and get my own. That really means I don't need you.
Okay.
So.
Turn me on right now.
Shut up, boy.
What do you think, Damien? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, no, I agree with her. We good. We are good. She is on fire.
No worries. All right, good. So I got a chance to hear from everybody. So let's open up for open conversations. So you guys got to hear from what everybody had to say. Any of you guys wanted to respond or engage in dialogue? And I see Tesha Mills laughing at the live chat. What's up, Tesha? Shout out to you, Tesha. All right, thank you for being on the live chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you being part of on the show tonight. But yeah, let me open up for open discussion. Was there certain things that everybody response or opinion that you agreed or disagreed? I do want to open up. I do have some things that I listed down as everybody was sharing, but I want to open up for you guys first before we continue on. Go ahead, Maria.
I want to ask Amber, because I noticed that when she was talking, she mentioned traditional relationship roles. And I always wonder why people stick to those, because it's like we romanticize traditional marriages, or like we say back in the day, and it's almost like a lot of people don't realize that back in the day your grandmother was literally a hostage, because women didn't have rights. Like she couldn't have a bank account, couldn't own property. Literally, if you weren't attached to a man in some way, you didn't have any options. So I just feel like it's an archaic way of thinking, and it's just not gonna fly. Like, we're making progress.
Okay, go ahead, Amber, if you want to respond. Oh, okay. Let me take it. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. The only reason I mentioned traditional roles is because that's what I see nowadays from everybody that's single, and especially a lot of the single women who specifically have a certain type of man in mind. And a lot of them want a more traditional man, a man who, works, takes care of her. She essentially stays home, maybe has kids, doesn't, and those dynamics, right? And the issue I see with this is it's a lot of women who, oh, I've got the bag and I'm independent, I'm strong, and I don't need a man mentality, right? And that's a modern day mentality where there's nothing wrong with that. And my point was saying that just understand that mentality is not going to get you the man you want with that thought process. No matter what you say, it's just not. And so that's where I am with that. And I see you shaking your head. I'm sorry, sir, I forgot your name with Melanated Podcast, because I feel like you kind of agree with what I was saying. And so maybe hearing it from a male's perspective would help as well.
Women are not going to listen to me, but I think, yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. Elaborate.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay. Thank you. Will, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so for me, is based on my experience with women, especially not only my personal life and also talking to women, but also looking at the scientific data of what women are attracted to. The qualities that most women are attracted to are the same traditional qualities that men exhibited in the past, right? They want a man that's, and the first one is these women today, they still want a man to financially be stable and take care of them and make more money than them. Even the women who are very successful and have their own bag, even though they have the finance to take care of themselves and their man, they still statistically, they still want a man to make more money. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, if you want a traditional man, you have to understand that that man is also going to have boundaries as well. And more than likely, most traditional men are looking for a traditional woman. Mm-hmm. So I think the problem today for a lot of modern women is, and I think one of the changes in today's modern dating is a lot of women today are modernized. They don't want to play a traditional role, but they still want a traditional man. I think that's where the conflict is, because if you want a traditional man like in the past, he wants a woman to act like traditional. But the thing is, a lot of women today don't act traditional. Mm-hmm. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. So whatever you like, if you want a modern man, if you want a man that doesn't have a traditional role, then you can do that as a woman. But a lot of women finding out is they go with those men, but they still leave those men and still pursue the more traditional men. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense with you, Maria?
When you said that, like, is it that they want men who are financially stable or men who make more money than them? Because those are two different things.
Well, for most women, they want men in the same level or higher, right? Women, for the most part, women will only date men in the same socioeconomic level or higher. There was a study that was done. It's called hypergamy, if you're not known of the term. But for most women, they want to date the man in the same level or higher. Most women don't want to date a man that's lower than them.
And the reason with that?
Well, the biggest reason what they found is for most women, it's innately within them. The reason why it's biologically that you want a man that's better than you financially, because you carry you have the women get pregnant. So in the most physical vulnerable state, it's more strategic for you to be with a man that can take care of you. You don't want to be with a guy that you have to rely on to pay the bills, because what happens when you get pregnant and he has to pay 100% full support of the bills, but he can't because he relied on you. That's going to cause an issue in the relationship. It's better for you to be with a man that, even though you can work as a woman, you can make your own bag, but if you decide to step away from the workforce so that you can have babies, your man can take care of the bills. So that's why for most women, they prefer that. But you don't want to get pregnant and then the guy is like, well, I needed you to pay the bills. How am I going to pay the bills? That's going to be an issue in the relationship.
I mean, really? Because single mothers do it all the time.
Yes, because they have to. Because not that they want to.
That's a fact.
I mean, ladies, I want to ask you guys, because that is brought up from a lot of women, and they see a lot of women that who are single moms and holding it down. And it's nothing to take away from what single moms are doing. But if you ask most single moms who had to raise the children on their own, you ask them, hey, if you had an opportunity to have a good, strong provider and a man you can rely on, depend on, that can hold it down for you, if that was an option, would you go with that option, or would you still prefer to raise it on your own without no man? What would you say to that, Maria?
I think we just
obviously, yes, you don't want to, if you have the option. I feel like the issue, and what a lot of people don't understand, is that there really aren't that many reliable men. Like, anytime I've ever relied on a man, it didn't end well for me. So, it's like I feel like it's more of men need to step up and become more responsible. Like, it makes no sense how many men I date, because I'm 28 and I date, within my age range. I don't really like younger men. And it makes no sense how many men are still walking around with dookie stains in their underwear.
Maria, just to push back, don't you think that you just picked the wrong man? Because let's keep it real here, right? There's life is all about spectrum. There's bad men out there, there's good men out there. There's bad women out there, there's good women out there. So the thing is, you have to be very selective who you choose to allow to come into your body, into your life, have access to you, especially when it comes to relationships. So if you pick the right man, you have no problem. But if you pick the wrong man, then that's what happens. That's the consequence.
So then that means when I meet a guy, I need to tell him to immediately drop his underwear so I can see the dookie stains before.
I think you're doing too much.
I mean,
too much.
I think that's a whole different problem.
I'm just using that as an example. It's just like you have to get to know somebody before you know that they're full of shit or they're not that guy. And then when you first meet a dude, like, he's going to give you the best version of himself in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably for like 6 months. Women do the same thing.
It's a matter of just picking better. And if it was just, a luck of the draw, hey, there are just a few bad men out there. With law of averages, I would eventually stumble upon that guy that has clean underwear.
Yeah. Go ahead, Amber. Go ahead, Amber.
So I want to say, when we talk about the terms of picking better, that does apply to both men and women. Yeah. And like Melanated podcast said, like, you know, within 6 months, and I tell people this too, I believe 6 months to a year max, you're going to have a real good idea of who that person is, because they usually can't keep up that facade very long. But what I notice most of the time, and this happens with men and women, people ignore the red flags. They are always there, but people are like, oh, well, we can get past this, or they can improve on this, and I can help them do this, and I can possibly change. So when you go into these relationships where you see the things that you don't like and that are unconducive to what you want, and you continue to proceed with the relationship, that's on you. When you already had the clear signs, you are not picking right. When I say you, I don't mean you, I'm just meaning in general, you know? So,
well, yeah, I can completely understand that perspective, but when women are constantly being told that they are, you know, pretty much they're here to fix men, or they have to do this, or they have to do that, or, you know, just give him a chance, you're being too picky, you're asking for too much. Then because me, like, I've had, you know, grow up and learn, you know, like me, I see dookie stains in the drawers, you out. But there was a time where I would have accepted that, and I've had to learn. And it's like, you know, where, like, you have to learn that. And it's like, where do we draw the line? When do we start, you know, teaching women, hey, you know, it's not your job to fix a man. We need to raise the bar. This is unacceptable. You know, there's no reason why he can't wash dishes, or, you know, go to the grocery store without buying salsa, chips, and beer, actually buying like groceries for the house. Like, we need to teach women that, instead of just telling them that, hey, you're here to be a homemaker. You're here to be his nanny / maid / concubine / breeder.
Okay. I think they do teach that. It's called feminism.
Why do they teach you that? When it's like demonized, a lot of people don't even know what feminism is.
Well, what feminism are you talking about?
What do you mean?
What kind of feminism are you talking about?
The only feminism that exists.
Which one?
Equality between both genders.
We're not equal.
And I think he kind of wants to talk about femininity. So what does that look like to you, Maria?
I feel like femininity looks like whatever you want to, because there's more than one way to be a woman. You know, there's not one little box that women are supposed to fit in. You know, if you want to grow your body hair, that's you. You want to wear makeup and lashes, that's you. You want to shave your head, that's you. If you like wearing men's clothes, that's you. Like, we can't put women in a box. You know, a woman's role is not just to, like I said, be a homemaker, just to be babies, just to make babies, just to be married.
Do you believe a man's role is just to be the provider, protector?
No, I don't. I feel like no, that you can be more than that. You don't have to be in a box either.
So would you be with a man that doesn't want to protect you in times of danger? Physically, somebody wanted to assault you, and he's like, you know what? Don't put me in a box. Don't put the gender role on me to be the man to protect you. Would you be okay with that? Well,
first of all, whenever women are in trouble, it's usually men that are the ones that are hurting them. So,
well, what if there's a woman? Say there was a woman that was bigger, physically bigger and stronger than you, that wanted to assault you. Would you be okay with him just to watch you get beat? And he's like, you know what? I don't want you to put in the box. I don't want you to put this biological role on me as a man. Like, would you be okay with that?
If somebody was assaulting me, of course he would come help me. I just don't understand how that.
No, I'm saying, would you be okay if he decided not to?
Why would he not decide not to? What
I'm saying is, you just said that don't put women in a box, but now you just put the man in a box to do something for you because of his gender.
So you're saying that because he is not in the box that, you know, masculine men are supposed to be in, that if I'm being physically harmed, that he can't step in? I would do that for one of my other female friends. If she's getting jumped or somebody's hurting her, I would do that. And I'm not a man. So I don't understand how it correlates.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, you said that we put women in a box because of their gender, right? There's certain things that we expect out of women just because they're women. Mm-hmm. So for men, we understand that as men that we have to be the provider, protector, no matter what. Like, we understand that's our role. There's no saying it. If we don't fulfill that, society's gonna, with this consequences we get from society, there's consequences that we're gonna get from our partner. So what I'm saying is, when you say this, that's why I agree with Damien. I mean, a lot of people would say, why do we put each other in the box? But that's just reality. We're not equal. There's different expectations we put on men. There's different expectations we do with women. We just have to understand we have to accept it.
But why do we have to accept it?
But that's why. But that's the thing is, if a man was with you and he didn't provide and protect you, because for most women, for most people in the society, that's what men hear, right? Damien, you're a man. We hear all the time, men, we have to fight for our women. Men, this is something society tells men all the time. We have no option. If something happens to people as men, we are expected to step up, no matter what situation, no matter how we feel. So this is like a box that society puts on us, and that's why I brought up that point, because you said there's the boxes they put on women. But if you were in a relationship with a man and he doesn't want to fulfill that expectation society puts on him as a man, would you be okay with that? And would you still be in a relationship with that man?
Well, I feel like it's a loaded question, but I mean, yes, you don't have to fit the gender roles of a man for me to be with you. Like, you don't have to be a provider. You don't even have to make more money than me. You just have to be financially stable.
If he doesn't protect you in the times, if somebody assaults you and he doesn't want to protect you because he doesn't want to be in the box society puts on him as a man to protect you, would you be okay with that? And you still be in love with him and you still be attracted to him?
Well, I mean, if he's not going to help me if I'm in trouble, then no. But that would fall under like anybody that I was fucking with. Like, if I'm in trouble and you're not going to do what you can to help me, I mean, that's just something that you should do regardless. I'm licensed, like I'm licensed to carry, so I'm not really concerned about that. But either way, I just feel like it does. I don't see how that correlates. It's like we're not fucking cavemen. We're not, fighting saber-toothed tigers. We're out in the real world. And any threat that, would come upon me would be from a man anyway, from another man anyway.
Maria, but he was just saying that you put a man in a box by saying he has to defend you because that's what men do. And you said
anybody should defend me. If it was one of my female friends that was getting beat on and I didn't step in or do something to help her, that would make me a bad friend.
I understand, but he was trying to prove a point of what you was trying to say, how you don't want to be put in a box and stuff like that. You could do anything you want. So if a man didn't want to sit up there and protect you because he didn't want to be in that box that you said.
So
which I don't think that's a man at all, just to be real.
If you see a woman in trouble, you wouldn't help her just because she's in trouble.
I wouldn't run to her rescue. I did that before. It didn't work out in my favor.
Well, I just don't see how that correlates because, like I said, you should want to help anybody that you have that you care about. So why should it matter whether it's a man or a woman? Like, if he was getting beat up, I would do what I could to help him.
You couldn't do nothing. Me and my wife just had that conversation. I would tell her to go to the car and let me handle this.
If he was beating you down, she wouldn't at least call the police.
Yeah, call the police, go to the car. Yeah, call the police. Yeah, you're right. Because you can't do nothing. And I don't want to see you get hurt. You're right.
But what does it have to do with why do we have to put men in that box to be protectors and providers? And if we do put them in that box, there are a lot of men who are not going to be able to fulfill that.
Because that's a traditional trait.
Yeah.
It's a traditional.
That's what we do.
That actually have it.
Say it again.
Why are there so few men that actually have it?
Because they was raised by their mama.
Yeah, they're weak. They're weak men.
Because their fathers.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something now. So, my grandfather, they went through hard times. My father, he went through hard times. Me, a little something. I didn't go through the racism or nothing, but I was there. My kids, they have the time of their lives right now. It's good times right now. You think any of these kids right now are thinking about being a man or doing feminine traits? These females out here doing feminine traits? Nope. The men are turning into females and the females are turning into men. That's a certified fact.
How? From where? A cereal box?
So Maria, I have one question before we move on to the panel. So I get the other panel. So Maria, if you had a man, if you got in a relationship with a man, you would be okay with them if he told you, you know what, I don't want to have the responsibility to provide to protect you. I don't want that. It's something I can't. I don't want none of that obligation and responsibility. I don't want that.
Well,
are you still gonna be with them? Are you still gonna be with them?
Well, obviously not. Why would you be with somebody who would not be there for you if you needed them? Why? Like, why would you be with a woman who said, if you needed me to hold you down for something, I'm not gonna be able to help you?
You don't have when you date men, you don't have expectation from the men that you date that he has to protect you physically. You don't have that expectation from all men you date that you want a guy that can feel safe with, that you know that when shit goes down, that he can step up and handle his responsibility as a man. You don't expect that from none of the men you date?
Well, no, because like I said, it's not like y'all are MMA fighters.
Doesn't matter.
So
I'm not an MMA fighter, but I would die for my family, for my kids.
That's a fact.
Well, I'm sure your wife or your girlfriend would die for her family if she had to. I would tell
her to stay in the house. I take it over.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, Maria, is most women I talk to, majority of women, they prefer their man to be the provider, protector, especially the physical protector, like I said. But the thing is, I like maybe you don't, maybe you're the one-off. But I'm saying is, but for most people, they listen to that, and I think also times. If you're in a situation, I think for most women, if you're in a situation of physical harm, I think instinctively you will look for a man.
I got one. The woman that assaulted the guy at the airport. As soon as she assaulted, you seen how he went at her. You seen how she disappeared out of the film. I didn't see her after that.
I don't even know what video you're talking about.
It's all over TikTok. I saw that. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think he was in the right, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, she disappeared real quick because he was going after her.
He was.
All I'm saying before I pass it to SoSodefff, and all I'm saying is, I think for me, in my opinion, Maria, the very qualities that makes a good man a man is the very things that men should be raised as men. You want a man that's a strong, resilient provider, protector. You want a man that's ambitious. You want a man that has courage. So we have to put those on men to become good men and raise them to become men. But if we live in society today, we tell men, you don't have to be provider protector. You don't have to be ambitious to protect your woman. You don't have to be resilient. You don't have to be financially stable. You don't have to have responsibilities. Then you can't be upset when a lot of these men get into a relationship with you and they don't become the very men that you expect them to be. That's all.
I want to make that's emotionally intelligent. You know, somebody I could talk to, somebody I'm not apprehensive with, somebody that, you know, values me as a person, sees me as a human being and not, you know, an extension of himself or his baby maker. Like that would be more important to me. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for sharing that. Let me pass it to SoSodefff. I know you've been waiting patiently. Sorry. Down there, I know you have some thoughts real quick. Go ahead, SoSodefff. Anything you want to share?
No, it's a lot of it's just making me think. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point too. So this is just how I see it and how I break it down in my head, going back to the beginning. Everyone, we're in 2022 right now. The men and women, and I'll speak for myself, we have this fairy tale that we paint, right? Off of how we should be treated, how a man should do what he should do for the household, etc., etc., etc. Although previous traditional relationships may not work for us right now, I feel like more of like a hybrid expectation because of the forever changing dynamic in this world, especially culturally. There's different cultural expectations. I am Filipino American, my husband's African American, and he's from the South. So, a part of my culture, I was raised by a single mother, but, I never ever thought once to ever bring my husband's plate to him before my kids. But being with him and understanding, there are different roles, but I choose to go with this role because this is a part of his love language and this is a part of his culture. I serve my husband his food, of course I get the kids' food all together, but I serve his food because this is his culture. This is the way You know, yes, it may be traditional, but I have accepted that. And that's just what I'm saying with nowadays. And before I was that single mother, like, I don't need a man, I don't need you. But I wasn't going to be treated as the queen that I am and I claim until I understood my role. And as what Amber was saying, accountability, you know, I had to be like, well, I'm not Miss Perfect. My shit stinks too. You know, I may have everything going for me, but, you know, as mentioned before, although you're career driven doesn't mean you can't better yourself as a woman and a wife and a partner. So, but I also understand where Maria was going too with what, you know, he could do for me that my friend could do for me. If you care about somebody, you would jump in and you would pop off too, you know. So I understood her point of view. So, you know, it's all very good.
Let me ask you a question. You think your husband would want you to sit up there and get into a squabble with somebody, or you think he would tell you to go sit in the car or go back to the house? I'll handle this.
He would probably pick me up and throw me in the car because I would be the one to. I'm 4'10" and he's 6'5". But I trust and believe. I would try to fight first. Get away! I can do this by myself. And he's like, "Little girl, get in the car."
Can I ask you a question? Why do you women do that?
Because I think I'm big and bad, and I'm only speaking for myself. I think I'm big and bad, but I'm not.
Feminism.
I'm not. I know dang well my 6'5" husband could eat that person with a spoon.
I mean, I think the feminism is a big part of it. I think a best example was like the war in Ukraine. You know, when that happened, did you see any of the women stay back? Because they had the choice to stay back to fight with the men. But like when it was time to go to war, like the men, I'm sure there was men out there that didn't want to be in the war, but they had to fulfill their obligation.
It was in that box.
They're in that box. But like Maria and SoSodefff, I know you guys are big and bad, but there was a war and we got invaded in America by a different country. Are you willing to stay with the men and fight? Or when that shit happens, are you gonna be okay just going with the other women and just being at the safe place? I
would say, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I would say I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
I want my wife to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
I need my kids to survive. I don't need you out there fighting and then we both get caught out there.
Exactly.
Kids that don't have no parents now. They going to the grandparents. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. I like that you brought that up because that's actually very realistic for me and my husband because we're both in the Air Force. We're both in the military. So, and you know, again, that's me being big and bad. Oh, let me go to Afghanistan. Let me go fight this war real quick. Hold on, watch the kids. No, I mean, yes, if I'm tasked to go, I gotta go. But ideally, it'd be my husband going. You know, ideally.
Question, another one. I know when you in the military, I don't know what branch you in. You said Navy, right?
Air Force.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. She was Navy. Oh yeah, okay, you Navy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so is it true? I just wanted to know this for myself because I had a couple of guys that told me this. So you both are in the Air Force and you have kids. And if you both had to go out, they will leave you behind because they need somebody. They know you have kids, right? Or you would still have to go out there?
No, we can't go at the same time.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know for self. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Look at question.
I think just to reply to Maria, I think that's, I mean, on the conversation, we can sit here and have a discussion on ideologies, but I think in reality, that's why men don't understand when you say, you know, why do women put us in a box? That's why for a lot of time it's hard for us to conceptualize that and understand it because as men, we know society puts us in a box. There's certain things that are expected out of us. So for us, when we hear women, why does society put women in a box? I was like, we've been doing this our whole life. We ain't complaining. We accept the reality. It's life.
Well, that's because we live in a patriarchal society. It benefits you. Don't get me wrong. The patriarchy does bite you in the ass in the long run as a man, but for the most part, it benefits you. So why would you complain?
You know, it benefits you too. You know that, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Benefit me.
You wouldn't know.
I mean,
you say you in Alabama, right?
Yes, I'm in Alabama.
You live a good life, right? You live in a good life, right?
What do you mean?
Do you have air conditioning, running water, electricity?
What does that have to do with a man?
That's the man making the. That's the patriarchy you was talking about. That's the man doing all that.
They're trying to use the men invented everything.
Well, not the man invented everything, but yeah, the majority of things, yes. They did.
Okay. So my question is, how were women supposed to contribute to building or inventing things when they weren't even allowed to go to school until like literally?
Okay, I don't want to dive into that topic. It's gonna go us off topic.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I was about to go in. I was about to go in.
I saw you, Damien. All right, that's another podcast. I got you. But yeah, I do want to bring it back full circle to the topic to discuss. Anything else you guys wanted to bring on? I had one more thing I want to bring up real quick before we move on to you guys, and you guys could bring up your topics. Anything else anybody want to respond and engage based on what everybody said? Okay, I have one more thing I just want to bring up because Maria, you said this. I think I want to hear what everybody has to think about this. Maria, you said that I wrote this down. The women in the past were miserable. They were hostages, and today today there's more progress today as far as women, and especially we talk about relationships today than in the past. So I just want to challenge you on that. Can you elaborate what progress means to you as far as from that perspective? We talk about relationships in the past and today, because I just want to throw some statistics out there. We have one of the highest divorce rates today compared to the past. We have more single women at the age of 30. More women are now single, unmarried, to have children. Statistically, as women make more money, they don't get married. And the demographic that reports the most amount of depression and anxiety and unhappiness are women who are over 40, unmarried, have no children, but they earn a higher career. So obviously we understand that life is a spectrum. There's good and bad. So obviously there's some women out there that didn't have good marriages, but we have to also be honest. There was a lot of women out there in the past that had good men and they had happy marriages. So you can't say all women were hostages or all women were living oppressing lives with unhappy marriages, because I know my grandmothers and my great grandmothers, they had good marriages, and of course there's no evidence to show that women in the past majority of them were unhappy. So when you say the word progressive, what I see based on the statistics, I think we're digressing. We're actually going back, because people are no longer in relationships. Kids, the single motherhood rate is higher than ever, especially in the Black community. So right now, if you look at relationships, it's failing right now in the modern society. So if you look at the traditional times in the past, it was better statistically. So I just want to challenge you on that. Do you still stand by that point? Do you still think that dating and relationship today and marriage is still a lot better today? And if you believe it, I just want to hear why you think that.
Okay. Well, I mean, first I want to talk about, you saying that the divorce rate is higher. And frankly, that's because women are allowed to get divorced. Did you know that women literally were not allowed to divorce their husbands unless, like, it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was abusing her, like putting his hands on her, till like the mid 60s, early 70s. Like, it was literally, she was not able to divorce her husband.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first point out of the way. Secondly, women were not even allowed to get a credit card, open up a bank account until the 70s. We are talking like 50 years ago. Like, this is not that long ago, which is why I said these women were hostages. They were victims of financial abuse, because if you didn't have, like, if you weren't attached to a man in some way, your options were extremely limited as a woman. So marriage, even if he was a son of a bitch, was your best option if you wanted to survive. And as far as like women being single women with no kids are the happiest demographic on earth right now. I don't know where you got your statistics from, but
I can drop it. I'll drop the study. I'll drop it on the chat.
Okay. And what was the other? I should have wrote it down when you were talking. You said divorce rates higher. Women are making more money.
Single motherhood. What can you answer the single motherhood? What do you think? Do you think single motherhood is good for the community, as a society, and the children as a whole?
Well, no, I don't think single motherhood is good, but like, are these women, are they single mothers, or are they single parents? Because there's nothing wrong with being a single mother, but it is an issue if the father who made her a single mother is not contributing and helping taking care of the kid.
Okay.
So, I feel like if we want to talk about single mothers, we have to address the problem, because the single mothers, they're staying. They're the ones that are taking care of the children, making sure that they're going to school, making sure they're fed. Where's the daddy at?
Well, but we didn't have that problem in the past because the women today, they chose those men. So the modern women who become single moms, they're choosing the men today on their own free will and their own free choice. Nobody's putting a gun to the head to choose the type of men they're choosing to go into that doesn't give them the relationship and commitment and the quality of life that they want. So what's your rebuttal for that?
So you're saying that they're choosing these deadbeat fathers?
Yes, because you control access to sex. Men have to approach you first. You don't approach them. So you choose those men.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I really hate it when y'all say we should pick better when, like I said, men are manipulative. What if he's like, oh, I want to be a father. I can't wait to have our little family. And when the baby pops out, now all of a sudden he wants a DNA test, or he's not the daddy, or, like he doesn't want to be involved. He don't want to be a daddy anymore. Or what about guys? Because that's another thing. Y'all do not want to like put on condoms. I don't understand that. Like, how do you want to fuck somebody that you barely know raw?
I mean, have you done that before?
No, like I've had guys where like I've been hooking up with, and it's like they'll try to, coerce me into, having unprotected sex. And, I'm like, no, you got to go. Like, I'm not interested in that because I'm not trying to catch anything and I don't want any babies. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's more of a men's issue because y'all are the ones who have the seed. Y'all are the ones who are depositing the seeds everywhere. Like, a woman can only get pregnant one time a year, but a man could get 5 women pregnant in 1 week.
All right, but just before I pass it to the other panel, but you don't think that the responsibility from my perspective, the women have full control, right? Because the men have to approach you. So you have control to say no, you have control to say yes. So if you want to attract a good man, a good partner that's gonna be there for the baby around, wouldn't it make sense for you to test out and challenge the man, and vet out the man to make sure that he has good qualities, and to prove to you that he is a good man before you give up the goods, before you have sex? Because in order for you to become a single mom, you had to have sex and conceive a child. But then you found out later that the man was manipulative and he was just playing you. But would it make sense? Because traditionally back in the day, a man couldn't impregnate you unless he got married to you, unless he had met your family, he had met your father. So he couldn't just randomly have sex with you like women do today and become a single mom. He had to marry you first. So wouldn't you say that there's more responsibility on the woman? Because the women back in the day had more standards, had high standards for a man just to get sex. Was they had marriage, they had to prove to the family, they had to had a good job. But now today, casual dating, a man can just meet up with you. You guys can holler at you, say some good words. You look beautiful. Have to, had a good fit on, spit some game, and then he's in you. He's you're seeing his dookie draws the next night.
Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example, because like I said, we always hear the choose better, pick better argument, and it's like, because I have raised my standards to try to avoid men that I have encountered in my past, my pickings have become very slim because there are a lot of men who just don't make the mark. Like I have a very low tolerance for bullshit. I'm one of them women that give you one chance. And that's because, we're trying to choose better. And it would really just be more effective if we just taught men how to be better or held them accountable for their bad behavior. Because at the rate we're going, I'm more than likely going to be single for the rest of my life. And I can live with that because I don't want somebody in my life that isn't, sewing into me or, adding something, making me happy. But if we raise our standards to where they need to be raised to avoid those situations, no man would be picked. Like, it would be a barren wasteland when it came to dating.
Do you think the standards on women have higher standards today in 2022 than women back in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s?
Yes, yes, because back in the day, all you had to do was be a good provider. You didn't have to be a good man. Like I said, you could
No, I'm talking about the women. I'm talking about the women. Do you think women today have higher standards today, how they respect themselves than the women in the past?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, you could be a son of a bitch, but because women didn't have options, being with a asshole would be better than being single. Because I don't have any options. I don't have any power. I can't go get a job. I can't take care of myself.
Okay. Let me pass it to the other panel guests. Amber, anything you want to add on? We're just talking about, she said that things, it's better today, it's progressing today compared to the past. I think it's different, but what do you think, Amber?
I do say, like, I get Maria's point on the progress as far as jobs and money and access to certain things. Yes, that absolutely is true. As far as relationships, no. So like Will said, divorce rate extremely high. And I agree with you, Maria, that, and there's nothing wrong with raising your standards. But the thing is, in 2022, men have done that as well. And they've been very vocal in saying, okay, I don't want a woman who is more masculine than me, or is aggressive, who isn't feminine, who knows how to submit, who is a certain weight standard, and so forth. And so this is where we're at right now, because like I said earlier, there is a power dynamic. All right. And a lot of women today that are similar to your mindset, which to each their own, you are going to be limited to the type of man that you want. I'm not saying you can't get one. There's probably a bunch of dudes you can date, but they're not going to be of the caliber you want, and vice versa. Like, that's just where we're at right now. And that is a problem. And the issue I see is because a lot of women, they don't want to accept that. It is a mindset thing. Men and women think differently. We will continue to think differently. And one thing I am constantly talking about is the things that men want and need. And when I mention this to women, they don't care. I'm like, so you're telling me you're not listening, or you don't care, and it's usually a combination of the two, because you want it your way, and that's it. And we both need each other, but men aren't out here saying, oh, I don't need you, I don't need you. Men want to be needed. All right, they love that. That's their innate nature, like, to provide, to protect, to be of service. And the dynamic today, there's women like, no, I don't need you. And so that starts throwing men off. And a lot of women have that mentality today. And I know you do. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But yes, you are going to be limited to the type of man that you get. So,
I mean, I don't want somebody where I have to stroke your ego and feel like you need it. I want somebody that's securing themselves. And if you're securing yourselves, you don't need somebody to tell you, oh, I need you. I can't live without you. I need you to protect me.
But it isn't so much verbally saying, oh, I need you all the time. It's in your action. It's how you talk to them, and the respect, because I don't see the respect. Like I said, I'm out in the trenches. Like, I'm dealing with this all day on social media. The respect isn't there. And that's very clear on how women talk to men. And so they don't have to say, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. Your actions will always speak louder than your words. And like the other day, I was on a live, and a woman from the East Coast, and she was like, oh, she was very aggressive and masculine. And, the host was trying to tell her that she's like, oh, I'm not. I cook, I clean, I do this for my man. And I'm like, that there's more than just those dynamics as far as femininity is concerned. Like I said, it's about how you talk to him. A man wants peace. And if you cannot bring him peace, he doesn't want to deal with your ass. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Nobody wants to come home distressed. Nobody. And a lot of modern day women, it's this tit for tat, like, oh, I have to prove that I'm better than you, and I can do this, and who are you talking to? Men don't want to deal with that. They want a stress-free life. They want to come home to peace. You need to be able to bring him peace.
Do I not want peace and have a stress-free life?
Yes, you can both have peace. But that's the thing. I didn't say women couldn't. But you took it there and said, oh, I don't want that? See, that's the mindset. Like, oh, what about me? You can have peace. Can you create peace? That's the question.
I have peace now in my life. I have created peace.
No, can you create peace within a relationship?
For him.
That's the thing. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Well,
No, I'm saying is what she's trying to say. You have peace, but can you create peace for a man with what he wants?
Why is it my job to create peace? Why can't you all become peaceful?
Because that's a relationship. That's the point of a relationship.
Right there.
God, the point of a relationship is not for me to fix you, and it's not for you to fix me. That's something you got to do on your own.
Let me pass it to the married couple, because in the married couple, married podcast, I want to hear your perspective on it. Like, you guys been married for a long period of time. What's your response to that?
Go ahead, baby.
Okay, it's not about. You keep going back to you. When you're in a relationship, it's no longer you. Mm-hmm. That works both ways. Y'all have to be each other's peace. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, he's working. He goes to work like 5 a.m. He gets home some days 3, some days 5 or whatever. When he comes home, shut up. When he comes home, I've already cooked, clean, do whatever. So he comes home, he takes a shower, he eats, and he plays PS5. I don't bother him. If we got to talk, we talk. As soon as he get in the door, get that out the way. I don't bother him. I don't ask him to do anything around the house. I leave that for the weekend. Like, okay, I need you to do this later in the week. I need X, Y, Z done. He's like, okay.
Yep. And on the weekend, I sit up there and I take out to eat and stuff like that. I do everything for her that I couldn't do during the weekday.
Mm-hmm. And I'm home during the week. I go grocery shopping. I might get out the house and just go do something just to get my own sanity, just to get out the house. Something like that. That's my peace. Me being by myself, me being in here watching TV alone. That's whatever.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be crazy when I retire and I'm in the house. How's she going to get her peace in?
I'm getting put out. But that's just a dynamic. That's how you make it work in a relationship as far as your peace is
that's
concerned.
how we make it work. I don't know how everybody else.
Yeah, let me choose my words here. Is you have to have that peace. If you don't have that peace, it's gonna always be a problem. You're gonna always be bumping heads for no reason, and you will start to hate each other.
I want to be real with y'all. We never had an argument over money.
No, we didn't.
Ever.
I love that.
It's just little bullshit, from here to there. Something that doesn't even last a day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have grudges.
Mm-hmm. We say and we keep it pushing. And in case you can tell, I speak. I don't hold nothing back. I used to, but I had to get out there.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's another reason why the respect level came, because I felt at a point in time he wasn't respecting me. I'm like, all right, now my daddy reason better. This shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I was running, boy. I was running hard. I was running, boy. She was like, hey,
tighten up. Tighten up. We ain't doing that.
And I knew what I had, so I tightened up.
Yeah. Right. And then before you, I know you're about to say something more, but I want to address what you said earlier. You spoke about what you were wanting a man to be. You're kind of limiting yourself, because you said you want to give them one chance and that's it. Like, that one chance that you give, like, was it something minor? Was it something major? Something that can be worked on later? Like, what type of chances are you giving these guys?
Look, if it was the shit stain, one chance, they out of here. I can see that one time, he out of here.
Hell no.
To answer your question, like I said, as I've grown and, gotten experience, there are some things that I used to accept that I wouldn't anymore. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not finna ask nobody for the bare minimum, especially not at our grown age. I'm 28 years old. There are some things that you don't do. Like, I'm not finna, if I text you and you don't respond, I'm not going to text you back like, hey, you didn't respond to me. I'm not going to call your phone. I'm going to wait till you respond. And if you don't respond within a timely manner, I don't have time for that. We're adults.
What's the timely manner to you?
If it's been 24 hours, because I know you looked at your phone within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's reasonable. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna make excuses.
But Maria, I want to sit up here and say this also. Look, I don't look at my phone when I'm at work. I don't answer it when I'm at work. If I have my headpiece on, I'll answer it. But and I don't even answer the phone because I don't like telemarketers. So if I don't see my phone is somewhere else and I got the headphones in, I don't pay attention to that phone until I go home. And I don't even pay attention to the phone until I get out the shower. That's probably like at 7 o'clock. I get off at 3 or 5 sometimes.
But if you knew that you were trying to, like, let's say you and your wife were dating again, and you knew that she was going to be texting you, you would be checking your phone, right? It would be a priority.
I mean, that was the dating process. I was courting her. You know, she knows my routine. She knows what I'm doing right now. So my courting now is on the weekend. I take out to eat and I do all the other good stuff we used to do when we was, you know, when we first got married. We would walk in Walmart, you know, just chilling, having date night, go to IHOP. We would do these little stuff to get to know each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's different now. We on another level.
Yeah, but like, you know, my point was that you would make sure that she was a priority. You know, like if she's a priority, you're gonna make sure that you're answering her message. You're gonna make sure that you're communicating, right?
Well, on that aspect, yeah. But she knows this. I make myself a priority. I'm on point. I do me, and when I do me, I'm doing her at the same time. We both winning.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let me pass it to SoSodefff real quick. What do you think, SoSodefff? Anything you want to add on to that conversation?
That was a lot to digest.
It
That was a lot.
was good though. I like that one.
I
like that.
It was good. Yeah, I would have to say, you know, everyone's dynamic is different. Every asynchronous and synchronous looks different for other people. You know, and I know one big thing in my household, peace. I am the toxic one in the relationship, so I will be out there. Accountability.
Yo, I like your honesty, fam, for real.
I am the toxic one, and my husband would tell me, Sophia, stop the negativity, stop it, you're doing it. And hey. You know, it's positive energy, right? And it's the little things as a woman I realize, like, am I really being negative? And it's just from tone. You know, I'm from the city, so I can be a little, yo, what are you doing? Instead of, I'm really like, hey, what are you doing? You know, that's how I'm thinking in my head, but, you know, watch your tone. And, you know, it's just the peace. And I realize if I want him to be my peace, I gotta be peaceful too. So, but I get the texting thing, because if I put you in my schedule, you don't put me in your schedule within the dating scene, it's like, well, I guess you don't like me then.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that. Let me read some comments real quick, and then we'll continue on. I think Too Wonderful said that's why marriage rates have gone down, and there's a lot of men traveling overseas to look for wifey, and the success rate is better than Joe Biden's approval rating.
Oh, damn.
All right, and I see Tesha. Tesha is just laughing. She's just enjoying our conversation tonight. So shout out to you, Tesha Mills. Thank you so much, everybody in the live chat. Thank you so much for all you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget the popular link is posted on the live chat. And make sure you guys definitely tap in. And before we move on to the next topic, I just wanted to say, like, when I've been doing this podcast for a long time, it's just based on my objective observation. When I do hear the modern independent women, it's whenever they talk about relationships, it's more centered on the me perspective. But when I talk to people being married for a long period of time, and what I find out when I talk to them, in perfect example, Melanated Married podcast, it's about the we. Is what are we doing for the relationship? So I think for people who've been single for a long period of time, I think what happens is you become accustomed to living yourself for so long that when you finally get into somebody that wants to be a meaningful relationship for you, it's hard to focus on them as well. Because I think based on the knowledge of what I ask people who are married, I ask them, what's the number one thing you can give advice to people to be successful in marriage? Just one of the things they will always say to me, the word is compromise. You have to compromise.
Yes.
You have to. There's no way you can build a successful relationship.
Will, I won't put this out here. I had to work to get this way.
Yeah.
Say we.
Yeah, we.
Not me. We. Not I. We. We work as a team.
Yeah.
You know, I know people say, "Oh, you can't that team thing, blah blah blah." Look, I'm in my masculine. I do me, but at the same time, it's we.
Yeah.
I want to make sure at the end of the day, before I leave this plane, that she's good.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's give and take. Like it's impossible to go in a relationship that you're the only one getting 100% of what you want. You have to compromise at some point to give and take to make sure the other person is getting what they want. And the people that know how to manage that efficiently, the people are like same relationships. But I do see like there's this when I talk to independent, modern, single people, like it's about they want 100% of what they want. And that I think that's not realistic in a real life relationship with somebody else as human beings. But thank you for everybody. That was a good conversation. I mean, we started off that topic and we just rolled with it. Hey. It's already halfway of the podcast already. Enjoyed your conversation, especially the open discussion, whether we agree or disagree. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. But let me bring it to you guys. I know you guys have some topics, some hot topics to bring up for tonight's podcast. I'm very interested to hear what you guys want to talk about. Let me start with you, SoSodefff. SoSodefff, what's your topic? What's your question? Bring it up real quick, and then we'll dive right into it.
The question that I have for everyone, do you feel like religion, having the same religion is imperative for longevity for your marriage or for a relationship? Okay.
All right. So SoSodeff's question is religion imperative, is important for a marriage, for a relationship? Okay. Let me start with you, Amber. What do you think?
So I think it's not necessarily important. It depends on the individual. Now, if this is something you need in your life and your marriage to proceed, then you need to make it a priority. I believe two people can exist in a relationship and be of two different political and religious backgrounds, as long as there is respect and as long as there isn't pressure on the other person, to whether, go to church, read the Bible, whatever. There needs to be that type of understanding before you proceed. And I like that question because I feel like a lot of people, when they're dating, they don't talk about these things. And this is where you talk about compatibility and understanding where you have priorities in certain things. And if that person, I don't care what they make, what they look like, if it doesn't align with that, move on, or be able to accept that I can accept that you're not going to be that involved in this, and that's okay. And as long as it stays like that and you don't pressure that person later on down the line, you'll be fine. But when you start to pressure that person because you like, oh, I accept it, but I don't really accept it, but maybe I can change their mind, that becomes a problem. When you think you can start changing people that way. So that's my.
Okay. All right. Man, Amber be dropping bombs, y'all.
Yeah, all day.
Dropping bombs and
yes. What I said.
All right, thank you so much. Let me pass it to you guys. Melanated Married Podcast. What do you guys think about is religion imperative for the relationship to work?
No, not over here.
Yeah, not over here. But I've seen and like Amber said, it depends on the religion. Like I've seen a couple. One was Christian, one was Muslim, and the problem that the Muslim, she was a female, had was that her father was like, "No, you can't be in this relationship. If you're gonna continue this relationship, I'm cutting you off." Mm-hmm. And he cut her off. Yeah. Like they're real strict about that. Yeah. So it really depends on the religion.
That's the last true religion out here. They actually follow that joint.
Yeah.
They follow that.
Both of them don't play. They don't. Play.
No, they don't.
And he was mean. Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah, the answer is no. For us, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. We good.
Okay. All right, no worries. Fair enough. Thank you for sharing. I'll pass it to you. Life with Marianova. What do you think about the question?
Well, as an atheist living in Alabama, I get into the situation a lot. And for me, like, I don't care. Believe in whatever helps you sleep at night, whatever makes you feel fulfilled. But one thing about me is that, like, it's really hard to meet someone who's okay with me being an atheist. Like, I'm okay with you being a Christian. Just know that's not something I'm interested in or whatever it is you believe. But like, it scares them away. Like literally when bombs try to hit on me, I tell them that I'm atheist and it runs them away. So like, that's how much like they just will not fuck with me because I'm atheist. So I guess for me personally, I don't care. You know, as long as we talk about it beforehand and, you know, we discuss, like, if we ever had kids, you know, they would be able to choose whatever they want to believe, just like we did, or whatever. But I don't have an issue with you believing something. Like, I could be in a relationship with somebody who didn't believe the same or have the same religion as me, or lack thereof, in my case.
Yeah. All right. I totally agree. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Life with Maria. Nova. I think for me is, I think one of the misconceptions a lot of people have sometimes when I talk to, especially younger people, that they often assume that just because somebody has a religion means they have morals and values, right? A religion doesn't make you a good person. You're a good person because you choose to be a good person, right? But like you guys before, I've seen people who had different religions that made it work. I think it just comes down to both parties understanding and respecting that you can have different opinions and different ideologies and still respect each other differently. Because I know some people who are atheist and Christian. I have a couple that I know. I've done a podcast before. She was Muslim, and she's married to a guy from Sweden, and he's Christian. But they just they have a very open mind to understand that people can have different ideologies. But if you don't really have an open mind to have that understanding, that can be very difficult. You grow up your whole life thinking just one perspective. But I do believe that it does work out on a compatibility standpoint. If you both have the same ideologies, if you both have the same morals and values and beliefs, I think it does help out in a relationship. It does help out. But yeah, that's just my standpoint. Anything you want to add on to your own question, SoSodefff?
No, that was great. Thank you, guys.
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you for the great question, and shout out to all the religious or atheists out there, and any atheists watching right now and around the Alabama area. Definitely hit up like Maria Nova.
Like, nah.
All right, no worries. Yeah, let me pass it to you. You're the Melanated couple, Melanated Married Podcast. I'm sure you guys have a question or topic. Fire away.
I got one. Why do Amber will probably answer this, but why do females have a problem when men rate them?
When men,
Rate.
Why do females have a problem with men? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, look, RATE. Wow, I'm sorry. Look.
That sounds like a viral clip.
Look.
I told him you had too many, sir.
My bad. It just stumbled my words. It just fumbled up. My bad.
I got you, brother. I corrected you. I got you.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir.
I got you,
brother. We got to stick together, you know.
Yeah, stick together, man. I got you.
I was wondering why everybody got quiet. I was like,
I said rates. He said rates, guys. All right. So yeah, let me. I know Tesha Mills right now is like, yeah, we needed clarification.
Okay, look. One, look. I'm gonna need you to put some respect on Tesha's name. It's Tisha. That's one.
It's
Tisha.
She's a good friend. My bad. I got you.
She's a great
friend. Shout out to you, Tisha. Shout out to you. All right. But yeah, I'll start with you, Amber. Amber, why do a lot of women get upset when men rate them?
All right. So when men rate women,
Yes.
they tend to get upset. From what I've seen, is because a lot of women have this high sense of self. No matter what, nobody can tell them anything. They are a 10 across the board, looks, personality, everything. And it's what I was talking about before with accountability. And a lot of women are not able to handle that. And so the first thing, if you're having a conversation, if I'm like, Will, what do you rate me? And Will's like, oh, I give you a 6. I'm like, oh my God, how dare you? Well, you're just a 3. Like, there's that tit for tat dynamic, and people's feelings get hurt. And it has to deal with just this like glossy mirror that doesn't want to identify anything, any flaws at all within them. And so men are very logical, and they just kind of approach things like they see it how it is. If you look like a 5, if your personality's a 5, if you dress like a 5, you're a 5. If
you look like an 8 and your personality is a 2, God damn it, you a 3.
Hey, that's a trend on TikTok now. Oh, she's a 10, but you know, her lace front's all jacked up. She's like, I don't know. It's a thing on TikTok. So yeah.
You taking points off. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that. Amber, I'll pass it to you. Life with Marianova. What do you think? Why do women get upset when men rape them?
Because it's dehumanizing. We're not animals up for auction. And, you know, if, like I said, the roles were reversed and we said, oh, well, you know, you're a 3, you're balding, sir, or, you know, you have a patchy beard or whatever, you know, they have a come apart. And when it comes, like, when it really boils down to it, you know, like what you like. If you don't like the way somebody looks, that's fine. You don't have to find everybody attractive. But why do you feel the need to, you know, rate them or put them on a scale as if we are all here for your viewing pleasure? We're not. Beauty
because we are. We are. Literally, we are.
Men are visual.
All men are for my viewing pleasure.
Look, well, I'm saying there's different men, but the whole thing, we do visualize. We do. You are up there. We do that. Regardless if the man that you look at is a cornball, a fuck boy, or you know, a good guy. We all rate. We look at that woman and be like, man, she's a 5, but I talked to her. She got something up there.
I mean, but so like I said, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like or finding somebody attractive. Mm-hmm. But why do you have to go through that process? Why can't you say, okay, I really, really think she's hot, or I don't think she's so hot? Like, why do you have to like make an event out of it?
It's not an event. We just logic with it. You know, we like to hit stats and numbers and stuff like that, you know?
So pretty much the whole point of the rating is so that you can talk about it with other men.
Yeah, you could say that at the same time. Yeah, we do the same thing. Yeah, because I know I'm a 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, baby. I'm a good looking 4 too. Yeah.
Can I ask something real quick? So to Will and Damien, when you hear, you know, the whole scale thing, and 1 to 10, what does that mean to you? What does 10 mean to you?
10 is perfection.
Yeah. Exactly. Will. Exactly. Yeah, so it goes back to what I was saying, this high sense of self. So when you're like, oh, I'm a 10, that means you're perfect. There are no flaws in you whatsoever. And that is just not true. Perfection does not exist. Yeah. But women tend to have this false sense of self, like I'm the best thing around and everything, you know, and it's like, I'm a 10. So when men see that or hear that, it's like, okay, are you? Like, that's why.
Okay. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Amber. SoSodefff, anything you want to add on? What's your thoughts about it?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Nova, I appreciate your answer too.
All right, no worries. Yeah. SoSodefff, what do you think, SoSodefff?
I think women get upset because it's an insecurity built off of a variety of perception. Because I could be a 10 to somebody else, but I could be a 2 to somebody else because they don't like my forehead. But somebody else love my forehead because it's big. It's a forehead.
It's honest.
So it's just, I don't know. It's that perception, and everybody has a different perception of you, and even your own self. I read somewhere that if you walked into a room and you saw yourself, you wouldn't even recognize yourself. Like, oh, who's that ugly girl over there? And it's like, oh, that's me. It's your perception, and it's somebody else's perception. So people just get mad because they're not a 10 in everybody's eyes.
Oh, I got a question. I'm sorry. It's just out here, you know. So you seen the thing on TikTok where they sit up there and for the females, when they put the beard on, and they say, "Well, if you can't date yourself as a man," or you know what I'm saying? You seen that one?
Yes.
Did you try it?
With a beard, by the way.
I look like my brother.
Say it again. What you said?
I said I'm hot with a beard, by the way.
I'm not. I look like my brother. I would not date my brother.
Hey, Amber, have you tried that yet?
I have. I've done a few splits with it. So I'm like,
oh, don't date me. Yeah.
Look, I tried it. I'm so
oh my God.
All right, no worries. I had a quick question to Life with Maria Nova. Okay, so I know the question was why do women get upset when men rape them? But I want to ask you, Maria, don't you think that women do that also? That women rape men as well?
Well, I mean, yes, of course. We're like, okay, he's cute, he's not cute. But I feel like it's less of a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm thinking of words. Like how I said, when men do it, it's like dehumanizing. Like I don't base a man's value off of how he looks, whereas men do that to women. Like you could not be the best looking man in the world, and I will still give you a chance. Whereas I feel like men, if you're not a good looking woman, and especially if you're not good enough to impress his friends, he's not gonna give you the time of day. And that's where I really feel like there's a difference. So, because of course, like we sit around and say, okay, yeah, that guy's hot. He's not so hot. But it's just a different, I guess, environment.
No, I think the main problem is I think what you're trying. I think you're assuming that our sexual attraction is similar or the same. That we have the same attraction between each other, but we have different things that we look for. So for men, we are very attracted. We prioritize a woman's looks. It's just our biology. But for women, it's different. You guys care about a man's financial economic status. So that's why for women, you judge us based on our socioeconomic level and what we can provide financially as a provider protector. So that's why you guys prioritize in the man and find sexually attractive. So, but for us, it's just about looks. So that's why for us, like we judge you harshly on our on your looks because that's just what we do as men. But for women, you guys judge us harshly on what we can provide for you financially and socioeconomically. That's why for a lot of women, if a guy is broke, you don't care what kind of man he is. If he's broke, they're invisible to you. You only recognize and you only see the type of men who are capable providers who are on your level.
Right.
Well,
so if we're broke,
I date somebody that's broke.
You would date somebody that's broke?
I said, why would you want to date someone that's broke? Even if it was a broke woman, like we're adults. Like, if my money wasn't together, the last thing I would be doing is trying to date somebody. Like, dating costs money. You need to have some type of stability in order to do that. So I don't really understand what a man has to do.
Because it's different. You just proved my point. Because let me pass it to because I guess for you care about a man's financial ability, but for men we don't. So Damon, if you saw a woman that's very attractive, that's financially broke, but very attractive, you would still give her time of the day in the past?
Yeah.
See the difference? You see the difference? You see the difference?
Hell yeah!
Well,
and look, I'm gonna be real with you. Look, I rated her a 6. See, you think it's the meaning?
Yes, that's the meaning.
No, it's not.
If I was your wife, I would hit you for saying what?
It's everything that comes behind that. Her looks is a 6. That's great to me.
I think she's.
I done dated 8s and 9s, and they have nothing. Nothing. They was taken from me.
Yes. Okay.
It was taken from me.
Yeah.
This is the best thing I got right here. It's the best thing since sliced bread.
But she's not a thing. She's a person.
No, she is a person.
Yeah.
You're right. And I understand the reality of what my wife is and what I am.
We're talking about sexual.
My wife is a 6. So I got the good thing on this. Facts.
Yeah. I mean, ladies, let me ask all the ladies on the panel, right? If a guy is broke, but he's a good human being, he's nice, he has good morals and values, but if he's financially broke, would you give him time of day?
Hell no. Hell no.
And I wasted years.
Amber?
Not doing it again.
Yeah. As much as practical, like I wouldn't be as practical as I possibly can. How broke are we talking? Are we talking like, you just lost your job and you're about to get another job?
No, let's put it like this. Broke, as far as for a woman is concerned, broke is he make less than you. Not that he don't make no money, he just doesn't make as much as you do, and he's gonna stay right there. That's broke.
Okay, so yes, if the stay right there mentality, then yes. Yeah. If you have no desire for more in life, then I don't know. Like, 'cause you don't have to make as much as I make, but you gotta have some type of balancing the playing field here.
Well,
You know,
I tell people this all the time. Plus, I tell my kids all this time. Look, man, you're gonna get a raise, you know. And most men, they actually go for the raise. You know what I'm saying? They be like, yeah, I worked here for 5 years. I think I deserve a $5 or $6 raise.
Mhm.
You know, you haven't got me a raise. Men will sit up there and fight for that. Hold on, that's a whole nother topic. Let's get off of that.
I did want to add to that for a second, though. Sorry. But I feel like men in relationships, if they are not as financially stable as they want to be, and the woman that they decide to be with, they're going to do and go above beyond to create that stability for them.
Facts.
So that's all I want to add.
Oh, then you good. That's facts.
What about you, SoSodefff? What do you think?
I think a lot of things.
If the guy's broke, if the guy's broke, would you take him seriously?
If the guy is broke, I would.
Well, SoSodefff. Remember, broke is not making as much as you are. He's working, but he's not making as much as you are.
Nowhere close to where you at.
If he's not making as much as I am, I would understand that and I would accept it. What I would not accept is if you want to do better, you know better to do better. So you have to be consistent to go up to the other level, because if we have these goals, say buy a house, own a business, build credit, you're going to need to align those goals appropriately and accordingly. And if he's staying at minimum wage, it's going to be probably $22 in the next year. So statistically, men, as much as I don't like it, men make more money than women when they're hired off bat, and they get raises sooner than women do. Women have to inquire about a raise, especially once their degree is, they have a degree, they move on up in the world. Historically, maybe it's changed in some organizations, I don't know. However, if a man may have more resources to progress quicker than a woman could, my thing is no excuse. I would accept the fact, you do make $17-20 an hour. That's fine. I love you to death. What I won't accept, don't you want better so we can have better? It's not so much the materialistic piece, but it's the continuity of striving together to get to where we want to both be, because it's not just one person.
Facts.
Yeah. All right. No worries. So thank you for sharing it. Facts. All right. But just, I guess for you, Life with Marianova, I think the reason why a lot of women is foreign is when they get rated by men and they take it so harshly. I think the reason why it's like that, because we live in two different worlds. Because what men find attractive in a woman is just how she looks. So the thing is, for women, you just have to exist, and you're gonna get male attention, right? You're just gonna exist. From the moment you turn 18, you're gonna get male attention. You don't really have to do anything. As long as you're beautiful, most men are gonna approach you. They're gonna get attention. For most men, we have to build our value, because women care about our social economic status. So that takes time. So for years, when we're broke, especially when we turn 18, that we have nothing to our name, we get told every single day that today we see you guys giving the attention to all the men who have the jobs and the career and the ambition. So there's a period of time for a lot of men that we go through that we get no attention for a lot of women. So we have to go through a lot of shit, build our value, work those jobs, and get our raise and work our way up. And then once we get to that level that most women would prefer, then we start getting the attention. So we're used to getting told you're not attractive, you're broke, you ain't shit. You get better. A lot of men, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna take that as motivation. I'm gonna work on myself and get to the next level and grow up and be that man, right? But for women, you guys just have to exist because we just care about how you look. But the thing is, the things that you're finding very attractive, especially your body, that deteriorates when you age. So if you rely on that as a woman, you don't bring anything besides your body as value, like you mentioned before, Damien. He dated 8s and 9s, but had nothing else. But the problem with a lot of women is if you don't bring anything value to the table and all you bring to the table is sex and your body, what happens when you get older? Now a lot of men don't find you attractive, and now you're gonna get the reality that men face. You're younger in their lives, you're gonna get that later on. Yeah. So that's why it's for us as men, we get that reality harshly as soon as we turn. From a very young age, we know that this is the type of men that women look for. They care about this level and our finance and our ability to provide, protect. And then we have to work on that for years until we get to our early 20s, 30s, and 35. But for women, you don't experience that later on in the life till you're 35, 40, when physically you start to age, and you're not as attractive as when you're younger. And then now you start to hear the reality when the attention from the men you get less attention from men, and a lot of men are not choosing you.
Plus,
So
there's two things that can happen after that.
Yeah.
Right. So with a man, we have to work for hours. We have to.
Yeah.
We're gonna be bums on the street. We're gonna be homeless. With a woman, if she don't work on hers, she can still get somebody that she likes to marry her.
Yep.
She can still get somebody she don't like to marry her.
Yeah.
But why would I want to marry somebody I don't like? That makes no sense. Like I can't speak for everybody, but like for me, I don't understand why you wouldn't be working on yourself, trying to get raises, trying to, you know, get your money up for you. Why are you doing that just so you can attract women?
Because that's what women want.
Yeah. Hey baby, would you be with me if I was still working in the mall, working that job?
Who's making money in there?
Oh, I'm saying, if I was a bum, would you still date me?
But why do we have to date a bum? Like, why would you date a bum? Would you
know what a bum is?
Going for herself?
You know what a bum is? Well, for a female, it's different. Well, a guy, I could date a female bum. She look cute.
Yeah, submissive, feminine.
She look cute, and she not arguing with me. I could even stand her.
Well,
you can't do that with me if I'm a bum. I know that much. You just finished saying homeboy had shit in his pants. You can't deal with it. Okay. You didn't sit up there and try to help him out, did you? You're like, I can't do this.
Fix you. It's not my job to fix you and help you out. Get yourself together.
You're right.
Like, everything that I'm doing, trying to build myself up, I'm doing it for me.
Maria,
I'm not doing it for a man.
You are right. And I'm not being funny with it. You are right. You're not supposed to fix him. You're right. He's supposed to fix himself. He's supposed to improve. You're right. You're right.
But I think, Maria, like the thing is, what I'm trying to explain is like we have different things we look for. So for women, you care about a man's financial status. Men don't. For me, when I meet a woman, I don't care about her financial status. Right? It doesn't really matter to me. What I care about is she attractive? Is she compatible? She's submissive? She's feminine? Right? Because I can provide that for myself in a relationship. Right? That's why there's a famous quote. You know, that's why you see millionaires. A millionaire man can take a broke woman from the street and take her and date her. But you will never see a woman who's a millionaire and go to a guy that's broke and date him. It never happens in the reverse.
Because it doesn't benefit her.
No, because we look for different things.
We look for different things.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
You
care about a man's status. For us, like if a woman's attractive, I don't care about. When I meet a woman, the last thing on my mind is like, I've never met a man that looked at a woman, man, I want to hit that because, man, her money's on point. I've never heard that in my life. I've heard women say that. I've heard women say, damn, I want to have his kids because he got money, he got status, he got wealth. I've heard women say that all the time. I've never met a man. The only thing I heard a man say, I want to be with that woman because she's beautiful, she's attractive, she's feminine. It's just that we have differences. But anyway.
I think women got a power they don't even know. That femininity, boy, is crazy.
Yeah.
That femininity is crazy. That's a different type of power, man.
Yeah. And the thing, a lot of times women skew their value and their rate, their rating system, because men will constantly lie to women to get what they want, to get the sex. So they'll tell you you're a 10 if that's what you need to hear. So then you get it.
Whatever that dude told you. The one with the shitty pants. He said whatever he needed to say.
But women,
I'm gonna clown that dude. I'm sorry. I'm gonna clown him.
But we don't get that as men. We don't get that as men. Women,
believe it or not,
women will verbalize what they want.
I was saying it's a common occurrence because there are a lot of men who believe that washing thoroughly betwing their ass cheeks is gay.
It's called. It's called whites. Thank you. Put that out there.
Still supposed to wash your ass.
Yeah, well, you wash your ass, but I'm saying wipes when. That's nasty.
Yeah. I mean, ladies, have you guys experienced that? Have you experienced men just telling you guys what you want to hear, and you realize like, oh yeah, they're just telling me what I needed to hear because they wanted to get the sex. Have you guys experienced that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Name of the game.
Yeah. The thing is, for me, is like I've never experienced that for women. Women are very clear of what they want. If they're not attracted to you, they won't give you no time of the day
At all.
So I guess that's the difference. All right. I think Too Wonderful said on the comments, I would rather have her smelling like grease than mayonnaise and motor oil.
What the hell?
I don't know what the hell. What are you guys talking about? All right, no worries. Thank you for that great question. Melanated Mary podcast. I appreciate you guys for that. Appreciate you guys on the live comments. Let me pass it to you, Life with Marianova. What's your question? What's your topic?
My question is, what is men's obsession with submission? Like, what does that mean to you? You want a woman that's docile. You want a woman to make you feel like a man, big and strong. Like, what does that do for you?
Okay. All right. That's a good question. So let me start with Damien, since you're talking to the men. Well, why is it important? Why do men value a woman's submissiveness in a relationship?
Hey, Maria, pay attention. Look at me. You see this woman right here? Do you think I can get past with any of the other bullshit that I do? But she's submissive as hell. But she don't let bullshit slide. And I need that in my life. You know what I'm saying?
But like, when you say submissive, what makes her submissive?
She don't argue with me. She already told you earlier, when I come in from work, she already have my dinner ready. I go in the bathroom, I go wash up, I get settled, I eat, I look at a little TV, I play some PS5, and then she tells me to go to bed. I do the same thing the next day until the weekend comes. I learned how to listen to her more so I can be better. You feel me? Because if it was just me, I'd be acting like I'm single and I could stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
So for you, submissive means a woman who pretty much takes on domestic duties, has, dinner ready, keeps the house together, and doesn't argue with you or, make.
Well, look, when we say argue, okay, we have disagreements. We don't argue. Disagreements might go where I might piss her off and she'll have to walk, get in the car, drive, or she'll just sit in the car and I just go on my PS5 and just play my PS5 and shit. But it's not that serious. It's never that serious. Like I told you, we don't even fight about financial stuff. So femininity for me, from her, is when I first met her. I think I was a manager in a urban clothing store, and she came in looking for a shirt for her brother. And I was like, I ain't never seen no female shopping for her brother like that. I was like, all right, so let me start talking to her. I think it wasn't even acknowledging my the assistant manager that was there. She was asking me questions. I was paying attention to her because I was like, hold on, time out. This might be the one. She was being submissive. And the other thing with that was, when we got to know each other, she asked me what I want to eat for breakfast. I told her, hey, some French toast. And she makes French toast until I got tired of that thing. I was like, no more French toast. No more French toast. I'm good.
So,
but she did things to make my life a little easier. You feel me?
Okay. So if a man did things to make a woman's life easier, would that make him submissive?
I did make her life easier. She doesn't have to work. She has options if she wants to work.
But I was just asking, would that make a man submissive if that's what you call submissive? If a man made a woman's life easier, would that also make him submissive? Or is there...
I told you, a man making a woman's life easier is for her not to even work.
No, she's asking, like, what's the term? Since you're saying that what we're doing is submissive, what's the term that men would use?
That would be the submissive part. I'm sitting up here working my butt off for you. I'm about to die before you because I'm working my ass off.
Okay.
All right, no worries. All right, let me pass it to the other guests. What do you think, Amber? Amber, why do you think the question? Why do men value submissiveness in women?
Well, I mean, I was going to answer, but you're the second guy on the panel. But I'll answer.
Okay, yeah. I'll go after you guys. I'll respond after you guys.
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that question, Maria. I feel like that's a big issue nowadays, as far as like I talked about with modern dating, because the term submissive gets a negative connotation. Like for whatever reason, women think, oh, it means I'm your slave. I lose all sense of self. And that's not the case. So submissive, literally the definition is yielding to authority. And what that is, that allows the man to be the man, to lead. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about there being a power dynamic where a lot of women feel they need to one up a man. So if you are in a relationship, there is nothing wrong with letting him take charge, letting him take the role, and you essentially sitting back and be quiet, being their piece. It doesn't mean you never have a say so, and it doesn't mean you can't work. That's not even the case. A lot of men, they support that. Men who have that traditional mindset and want a submissive wife, they support their woman working, but they want their woman to be by their side, to know that their woman has their back and will allow them to lead them however they see fit. And it's a trust factor and it's a respect. That's also as far as being like submissive and being feminine. You don't need to check your man. You can have a conversation with him and you can say, okay, I didn't agree with that, but this is why, and that's okay. Move on. And everything doesn't, like they were saying earlier, a lot of things are on a micro level. They're not macro. They really aren't. And a lot of women tend to make micro things into macro things. And that's when you have all these issues in relationships. So to me, men want submission because, like he said, they want peace. Okay, they want their household to be of peace and respect. And so women show love through their nurturing and how they respect men. And men want that. They just want peace. They will provide, they will give you the world if you can create that environment for them. And that's what it comes down to. I hope I answered that correctly because you're making a face. Like,
oh, well, I'm making a face because I'm only submissive in the bedroom. That's not me. Like, I look at relationships as equal partnership. There's no need for there to be a dominant and submissive type of dynamic, except for, of course, in the bedroom. But that's where it stopped for me.
But see, in life, there's always a yin and yang. There are opposites. There's masculine and there's feminine. There's dominant and submissive. So a man does not want to deal with another dominant person in the household. If that were the case, he'd be with a man. He doesn't. You get what I'm saying? There's always this higher, like there's they go side by side, like they pair up.
So you don't think that two people are capable of being partners in a relationship? You pick up where I leave off. There are some things you're good at, some things I'm good at. Like there needs to be a master, or nobody needs to lead anybody anywhere. We are equal partners.
I agree in the partnership, but it's along the qualities of what I was saying as far as letting a man lead and allowing him to be the man, be the provider, be the protector, and trusting him, trusting his judgment, trusting his guidance. So, I mean, there are dynamics where there are gender roles. They happen, okay? Like if he's working, he knows what his plan is. He knows what everything that needs to be done for the household, and she's going to take care of everything in the house. He's going to work. He's going to bring home the money. I don't know who handles the finances specifically, but okay, there you go. He works. He brings home the money. She handles it. That is their dynamic, and that's but that's in that role, and she allows that power dynamic. He's like, okay, you do that. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And she has her essential role, and I know it sounds bad, but it's an understanding. So,
Life of Marianova, what do you prefer in a man? Do you want a man to be a good leader? Do you want a strong leader as far as the qualities that you look for in a man? Do you want him to be a strong leader in your relationship?
I'm not a child. I don't need anybody to lead me. I want somebody. I want a partner. I want somebody who can stand next to me.
Okay. I'm gonna name some qualities. I'm gonna name some qualities. Let me know if that's something that you find very attractive in a man. Do you like a man that's confident?
Of course.
Do you like a man that's assertive?
In the bedroom, yes.
No, just like assertive in the life. You want him to be. You want him to be decisive. He's not flaky. Like he's afraid to make decisions. Like he's decisive.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind making decisions. So
okay. You want him to. Okay.
Important.
All right. Do you like him to be courageous?
I guess I don't want him to be scared of everything, but I don't know what's courageous. Like he doesn't like scary movies. How like
No, like courageous. He's not afraid. He's not. If he doesn't make decisions based on fear, like he's willing to challenge the world. He's gonna do what he has to do. Like he's not afraid.
Okay, I would say I would like because I'm that way.
Do you like a man that's ambitious? Do you like a man that's ambitious?
Well, you don't have to be. That's not necessary.
I mean, to you. I mean, what do you like to you? That when you meet somebody that's ambitious, do you find that attractive?
Well, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter. I would say that we're more compatible because I'm an ambitious person. So if I met another,
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying when you see a guy that's ambitious, do you find that attractive as a woman? If you guys see a guy that's goals, he's moving, he's progressing, he's doing things with his life, he's progressing, he's moving towards something. He's not just complacent and laying it down. Do you find that attractive?
Yeah, I guess I would somewhat find. I guess I would say I'm indifferent. I don't care if you are just working the same job you've been working, if that's what you're happy with, or if you climbing up the corporate ladder or starting a business or whatever you're doing. I'm really indifferent. Like you don't have to be ambitious. Like you don't have to be ambitious. I mean,
if there's two men, everything's equal. One is extremely ambitious and one's not ambitious. Which man do you find more attractive? Everything's equal in both men. Everything's equal. But one's very ambitious and one's not. Who do you find more attractive?
Like it wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter. Like if you're like complacent doing what you're doing, that's fine as long as you are financially stable, taking care of yourself. And if you are kicking life's ass, that's also good. Like I'm indifferent.
Well, that's fine. No, that's fine. So 3 out of 4 qualities. I just mentioned 4 qualities. You took 3 out of 4. What I'm saying is those qualities, most men who have those qualities want to be in a leadership role. I'm just going to say that right now. So that's why women will say, I don't want a leader. But then when you ask them, what qualities do you like in a man or sexually attracted to? And when you name all those qualities, I'm just telling you right now, based on experience and, of course, scientific research and data, men with those specific qualities and traits and that personality, they are the type of men that want to be in a leadership position. So since you pick 3 out of 4, even though you would say, I don't want a leader, but based on the qualities you just mentioned, I would just make a hypothesis and say that you are attracted to men who want to be a leader, even though you're not saying that right now. Because the qualities that you said you were attracted to, men with leadership positions all have those qualities. But if you want a leader, if you want a leader, then you have to understand that those guys who have leadership qualities, they're not attracted to other men like Amber said. We're attracted to the opposite. Like we don't want our traits as men and women is to keep that sexual polarity. It's supposed to complement each other. But if we both have the same amount of traits, if we're both masculine, it's not going to work out because we're dating the same. We have the same sexual dynamic. I don't want to date a man I don't want to date a woman that has the same qualities as me because I would feel like as a man I'm dating another man. The same way for a lot of women, they want to.
Ambitious?
Huh? You
wouldn't date a woman that's ambitious?
No, because for me as a man, I'm attracted to femininity. I'm attracted to a woman's nurturing, caring, love, and compassion. I don't find.
So you don't think a woman can be ambitious and nurturing or caring?
No, I don't. Like I said attractive. I'm not sexually attracted to that. I don't have a problem with that in a woman. But I'm not sexually attracted to that. When I look at a woman, the last thing I'm thinking about is her ambition.
Okay. Well, for me, like I feel like those are more traits of somebody that's secure in themselves. Like. I don't really go for men who act like they got something to prove because you really don't. Just be yourself. Life is what you make it. Okay, no worries. All right, let me pass it to you, SoSodefff. What do you think? What's your thoughts on the topic? Why do men value submissiveness in a woman?
Here we go. So this is personal experience. I think. So men they crave that dominance, right? Women do too. However, being the alpha is a primitive aspect for a male. And when dominance is challenged, that balance is thrown off. And I say that because I experienced that a lot. I am a very career-oriented. I'm very assertive and aggressive. I'm very sweet, but I'm very raw. The word is raw. I'm raw. Okay. So, that it's just the compatibility piece in those moments doesn't make and I'm speaking, maybe this is how I see my husband, makes him feel less than a man. And when a man is challenged, when his manliness is challenged, it throws off that yin and yang, that chi, so to speak. So, I mean, maybe not all men are like that, but I know my manly husband is like that. And I respect his dominance, because if I don't, we have 3 boys, they're not going to respect the alpha of the household. But
right.
they respect me as the nurturer, but there is...
That boy 6'5", he better be manly. Shoot.
You better be alpha.
You know what I'm saying? He better
He
be.
is the alpha, yes. He is the alpha.
You got no choice but to be.
You know?
But it is hard for me as an ambitious and assertive woman to be submissive the way that my husband wants me to be.
Well, see, you know, at least you working on it. You
Oh
feel me?
yeah, it's a struggle, but I'm working.
It is a struggle. It is a struggle.
As I've said, I am the toxic one. Accountability, right?
Yeah. Usually, the only man that could hire I would say the only man that could handle your toxicity would be a 6'5" guy.
Man, look, I'm just looking down on her like, okay, baby.
There you go.
I guarantee you, the guy that's shorter than you were never like, nah, hell no. But you saw him like, yeah, baby.
Like, look, I said, we right here. Please.
Yeah.
No worries. Thank you for saying that, SoSodefff. Yeah, I guess my response to that, I think it just comes down to the different things that we look for. I think for men and women, we have different things we're attracted to. And I think I agree with Amber. I think, radical feminism and a lot of the progressive ideologies today, they put a negative connotation for women when it comes to submissiveness. And but I think the best definition I heard of what submissiveness was from a different podcast. I heard they said that submissiveness is willing for cooperation. That's what submissiveness is. And I think the reason why submissive is important for a man, I do believe that for most men, intrinsically, most men are assertive, confident, ambitious, and if men have those traits and they work on those things, I think biologically for us, the way we were created, our traits are supposed to complement each other. Because like I said, it's going to be a problem if I'm very ambitious, I'm very confident, if I'm very disagreeable as a man, and then my woman's confident, ambitious, and she's disagreeable, I just don't see how that's going to work out in a relationship. Because number one, who's going to raise the children if we're both ambitious, right? If we're both working, we're both investing a large amount of time at work and pursuing our goals and careers. Like if we're going to have children, how is that going to happen? So I think for a lot of men is we look for women who can complement our traits, and the women who are very submissive, nurturing, caring, loving, want to be great mothers, want to support and raise a great household for us to come and be my peace. We find out that those women complement our life. But if we meet other women who are just as ambitious, just as disagreeable, just as assertive as us, we just realize that dynamic of that relationship doesn't work out in real life, because somebody has to work and somebody has to take care of the children. And for the most part, it works out better when we have both, when our traits complement. But I think when we try to pursue people in the same relationships with the same type of traits, I think there's a problem with that. And also, when I talk to a lot of women, a lot of women will say, "I don't want a leader. I don't want a man to be strong, confident, ambitious, and be the alpha." Then sometimes I tell the women, "Okay, if you don't want that, why don't you date the more feminine man, the man that wants to stay at home and he plays the feminine role?" And a lot of them, nah. They still don't want to date those men as well. All right. So the thing is, like, you don't want the man to be the leader, but at the same time, you're not willing to do the opposite. So it only works for men. We know that we can't be feminine. Like, masculine is the only option that we have. Most women want feminine, masculine men. But I think for women, you have in the modern society, you have the luxury to play both. If you want to be masculine, a woman, men will still give you attention. Men will still get a relationship with you. If you want to be feminine, men will still give you relationships. Men will still be with you. For as men, we know that if we decide to play that feminine role, we know that our chances of finding a good woman, or our chance of finding the woman that we want, it's not going to work. We have to be masculine. And I think for me, is like it just works out better as far as compatibility wise if our traits complement, but not the same, and we're just arguing and disagreeing, and we're both working all the time and pursuing our goals and dreams. There's not really a lot of time for us to spend time with each other, have sex, and have that intimacy. When I can find that a lot better, when I know I can go to the world and conquer the world, but I know my woman is home, I can go back home and I can spend time with a woman and have that intimacy in that relationship. I think it's really hard to do that with a woman that's very career oriented and just as ambitious as me. But I wanted to be, that's my final thoughts on it. Any final thoughts from you guys on the panel before we close off and conclude tonight's podcast? Final thoughts real quick on that topic?
Not on the topic, but
I had a question, but
all right.
Go ahead, Amber. Go ahead.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One last one.
So question to everybody in the panel. When it comes to sex in a relationship, do you feel as though it's a duty or a privilege?
Ooh, I just did a podcast.
It's a lot. I believe people need to talk about this. So
all right. So let me start with Melanated podcast and Melanated Married podcast. Do you think sex is a duty in a relationship, or is it a privilege? I did a podcast with this. We talked about this, and the clip went kind of viral. But I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. So, is sex a duty or a privilege in a relationship?
Man,
Melanated Married podcast.
It's a duty to give up that booty, man. That's all I gotta say.
Stop talking.
oh my goodness.
Wonderful. Said honey and Red Bull on deck, ladies.
Hey.
Wasn't that from Shaft? Is there a duty? Give me that booty.
I would kind of say it's both, and I say that because yes, you should do that to make sure that your partner is not going elsewhere for it, but your relationship as well has to be intact. Like I have to be sexually attracted to you as well, because if I'm not sexually attracted, I'm not going to do it. That's a waste of time. So.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. We pass it to the Life of Maria Nova. What do you think, Maria? Is it duty for you to give up that booty to your man?
How did you?
No, it's like the moment that sex becomes a job, a duty, a preventative measure. As far as I'm concerned, your relationship is in a trash bag on a garbage truck headed to the city dump. Because, like, why are we even having this? Like, why are we even having this conversation? Like, why is it, like, what's going on with either one of us that I have to convince you to fuck me? Like, at what point do you say, hey, something's going on, my man with my lady, let me see what's going on. Like, why are you so concerned with, I'm not getting my dick wet or I'm not getting my back blown out? Like, I feel like that should be the main concern. Like, I really don't understand that. And of course, bodily autonomy doesn't end just because you're in a relationship with someone. So, no, it's not a duty. It's definitely not a duty.
Okay, it's not a duty. All right, for Life of Maria Nova, no worries. Let me pass it to you, SoSodefff. You think it's a duty?
I think it's both. Duty in the aspect that I got 3 kids, and that's sometimes the last thing I'm thinking about. But it's a privilege because I get to experience the intimacy with this person that I love for the rest of my life, regardless of even no matter how tired I am. It doesn't feel like a duty in that aspect. So that's how it's both to me. But I don't see it like when I say duty, I don't think of it as like a chore, but it's just like, I'm tired, fine, whatever, let's go, type thing. But be happy about it because that's my husband, so that's just how I think about it.
All right, no worries. I agree with Damien. I think it is a duty. I think in relationships, men and women, we both have expectations and things we expect out of each other. And I think duty is a great foundation in a relationship because we have to fulfill the things that our partner expects us to do over long periods of time. And we need to have that. That's why duty and obligation is important because we have to fulfill that. And I think if for the men's perspective, the reason why I know for a lot of women, they find this very, very triggering or very toxic to talk about. But I think from the men's perspective, we know that our duties that we have to fulfill in order for the woman to be attracted to us, to stay with us, we have to fulfill it 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. So it's, especially if a man wants to be a provider, protector, and especially if a man is the sole responsible of the finances and the future security of the household, we know that regardless of how we feel, we wake up every single morning. I saw my dad wake up every single morning, go to work, regardless of how he felt. Like, no matter how he felt, he did not complain. My dad did not complain. There was days I saw my dad had physical pain, he had injuries, but he woke up every single day to fulfill his obligation as a man. I saw that, right? And I think for a lot of men who want to be that role, that's why we know we do it regardless of how we feel. We're willing to sacrifice ourselves to make sure that we take care of our woman, and we value that. So in our minds, like, you know, at least if I'm willing to sacrifice myself, all I ask is give me that booty.
Well, look, and that's our duty.
Exactly, that's our duty as a man.
That's
right?
Our duty.
We regardless, because a lot of women say, "What if we don't feel good? Why don't we're not in the mood?" I mean, we go to work regardless of how we feel, whether we're not in the mood or not.
But what if she works too?
What if she works too?
Yeah, what if she works too?
Well, even if she works too, but it's still like I said, I still go back to the point. We have different things we want in a relationship. So for men, we want sex. That's what we want. What we look for. And then the thing is, if you want the relationship to work, I think a relationship that works is we both provide equal value and reciprocate each other's needs. So if you choose to work as a woman, that's fine. But your man still wants sex regardless.
I mean, but you have a right hand and a left one.
You said what? I'm married. I don't need to do that no more. I used to stop that.
Okay, so then I mean, all I'm saying is, if you're not gonna, I'm telling you right now, if you say that, then I'm telling you, he's gonna find it somewhere else. I'm telling you right now.
So like, if the roles were reversed and I wanted him to give me that meat stick, but he wasn't in the mood, and I go get it somewhere else, is that okay?
Damien, when's the last time you rejected sex?
I ain't reject sex, never. I don't care if that chick was a 2. I ain't never reject that. You crazy?
Okay. Ladies, when's the last time you guys rejected sex because you didn't want it? You didn't want it.
So, yeah, that the only time that happens, and if it does, it's because he is not attractive to you, or there is a smell or something that has turned him off. They want it all the time. But I knew this was going to be a question that, you know, certain people weren't too crazy about. And it just like, I love you, Maria, but you haven't proven me wrong yet. And I say that not in a bad way, not in a bad way at all. But just when I was talking about modern women and their mindset, and this is what I see all the time. And I knew certain questions were going to trigger you or bother you. And I don't know if you remember earlier, and I said that men are very vocal on what they want and what they need. And I said, what did I say? I said, women, they don't care and they're not listening. And I've watched your reaction every single time these two men have said something pertaining to what other men want. And you have not steered me wrong. I'm sorry, darling. I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like I see it, because I deal with this all the time. And a lot of modern women don't want to hear that. They just think that their thought is fine. And that's it. There is no adapting, you know, and that's kind of where we're at today. And
I'm not going to sacrifice, you know, my body. Like, if I don't want to have sex, first of all, I'm not interested in a man that wants to use me like a blow-up doll. That's sick. Like, if I'm not in the mood, or I'm sick, or whatever, or I just don't feel like having sex, like, why? Like, I don't understand why it has to be my duty. Why all of a sudden I have to just lay there and let you do your business on top of me? Why would you even want to do that to your significant other, somebody that you care about? I could never, like, for me, if somebody was like, no, I don't want to have sex with you, that would completely turn me off anyway. Like, I wouldn't even pursue the issue.
Well, let's put it like this. If you ran up with the right man, right? His duty is to love, protect, and make sure you on point, right?
I can make sure I can keep myself on point.
Okay, well, that's the answer.
Yeah, that's yes.
Well, what's that to do with him? What does that have to do?
You answered it already with that. You answered it. It's good.
Well, I mean, I don't need anybody to keep me on point.
And we know this. You've been saying this the whole show.
Well, what all I'm saying, Life of Maria, is men and women, we have different needs that we want from each other, right? And if I'm a man and I hear the woman say, I don't need you, I don't want to do the things that you want out of me, for me is like, what's the point? What's the point of me going into a relationship with you if, number one, you don't need me, and number two, the very things I'm looking for in a relationship is the things that you don't want to do. There's going to be conditions to it. You're not obligated. You know, there's no guarantee that I'm going to receive it. But the thing is, for the things that you want out of me, I have to fulfill it every single time, just to even get your attention and just to even get you to qualify myself for you. So the thing is, for men, is like, we understand that the things that we have to do for women to be attracted to us and to give us that long-term commitment and give us that loyalty of her sexual access, we know that we have to fulfill it every single day.
Hey, whoa, how you say it? Men's at a man is static, and women's is negotiable.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, like, if it's the only reason that you're getting with a woman or getting into a committed relationship with a woman is so that you can have, you know, unlimited access to sex.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's called biology and human beings. That's why that's normal.
So
why is it a bad thing though?
Nothing about connection. I mean, no, don't get me wrong, sex isn't a bad thing. I mean, we're meant to have sex, but that's not the main driver. That should not be the main driver is why you're getting with someone, because you can fuck anybody. Anybody can give you sex.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But Maria, do you fuck anybody? Do you fuck all men?
Hell
of course not.
Exactly.
No.
That's the point. You only choose the men. Only the men that meets your criteria, the things that meet you, those are the men that have access to you. All the other men are invisible, have no chance. So men have to work.
My problem. They need to find somebody that wants to have sex with them. It's not my duty to, you know, make you feel good about yourself because I allowed you to lay in bed with me.
I'm just saying is you have the choice to, if you want to have sex, you just go outside and pick somebody. There's somebody out there that's going to have sex with you. For men, we can't do that. We have to work. We have to court you. We have to invest into you. We have to show that we're capable. So that's why for a lot of times as men, we put in all this extra effort. And then if you're not to have not only be with you as a human being, but we want sex because that's just our biological reason of what we look for in relationships. But if I'm doing all that for you and you don't want to provide what I want, for a lot of men is like, what's the point?
Yeah, a lot of men don't want monogamy like that.
Yeah.
And if we get married, that's what we want.
Well, I mean,
you don't want to get with nobody else but you.
Why be in a monogamous relationship?
Because we're married now.
No, she means in general.
All I'm saying, Maria,
I'm sorry,
Maria. All I'm saying, if you go back and watch this podcast, all I'm saying, if you rewatch this podcast, every single standard that you guys ladies brought up and things you wanted out of a man, I'm sure I promise you, me and Damon did not disagree with it. We were like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. All your standards, everything that you guys ladies you want, we understand as men, whatever you guys want, we have to step up to the plate and meet it if we want access to you. But the thing is, what Amber was trying to say is men also have standards as well. And if you want that commitment, if you want that loyalty, or if you want to attract that certain amount of men, that it has to be reciprocated. It's not only one-sided. So I don't have a problem. Everything that you said you want out of a man, I understand. I understand because women have certain things they look for. I don't have a problem with it. But I think for me, it's just like you're unwilling to hear the other side of it from the men's perspective. Like if the women say it's a problem, but me and David say something from the men's perspective, it's something it's hard for you to digest.
It's hard for me to digest that I don't want to have sex. Like it's not a duty. It should never be a duty. Like if I'm in a situation where I don't want to have sex with you, like why wouldn't you be concerned what's going on with my girlfriend? What's going on with my wife? What's going on with her that she does not want to have sex?
So
Wouldn't
how do
no.
you keep a man?
What was that?
Like, how do you expect to keep a man? You think you're going to get into a relationship and the man is just supposed to do whatever and take care of you and provide, and you not give him that one thing that you know he wants?
But why would I'm not? First of all, I'm not looking for someone to provide for me. I already said I'm looking for somebody to stand next to me. I'm not looking for somebody to lord over, and I'm not looking for somebody to lord over me. And even though sex is great and it's important in a relationship, that is not the main driver. Like, I don't want somebody that's that's a slave to their biology, as y'all put it. That's not something I would ever be interested in, because I'm a person. I'm not a fucking blow-up doll. Like, I'm not just gonna be here hot and ready whenever you want me.
Okay, I just want to put this out here. I just want to say this, and I'm speaking to you as a woman that have been in similar situations like that. That's the quickest way to get cheated on. The quickest.
Well, I mean, cheat on me. I'm not interested in that. Like, like I'm the type of person. Like I said, I'm okay with being single. I'm not finna put up with that. Just so I can say, hey, I'm married, or hey, I got a man, or whatever. That's not important to me. I want to be happy and secure in my relationship. That's all I care about. I don't care about having a title. I don't care about, saying, oh, I'm not alone, I'm not single. That does not bother me. Like, when men are like, oh, well, you're going to die alone with a bunch of cats. And I'm like, you promise? Like, my whole goal is to be happy with another person. And if I can't have that, I don't see the point.
That's what's up. I can respect that.
No worries. All right. Let me read some comments real quick, and then we'll get the final responsibility. Final response, everybody. I think John Wick said in the comments, and women who don't give it up wonder why men cheat. All right. That's thank you for your comment, John Wick. I think Too Wonderful said, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Okay. All right. And then I think Primo Living BC said a plane only has one pilot and one co-pilot. No equal partnership. All right, no worries. Whether you agree or disagree, I appreciate your live comments on the live chat. Like I said, we had an interesting conversation. But first and foremost, our guests, that we have come to the end, to conclusion of the podcast. Shout out to my guests real quick. Oh, all right. And I told you guys the conversation's going to keep you guys up any day.
You ain't lie. You did not lie, sir.
I was like, I'm nodding off over here, but now I'm like,
you did not lie.
Everybody's awake right now.
Hey, let's do this again, guys.
I know. Talking.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be hard to go to sleep after this one.
Oh, man. I'm going to believe you on that now, because you said it was going to be live.
I told you the conversation, keep everybody up. But nevertheless, we have come to the end. Thank you so much for my panel. Thank you for having the open, real, unfiltered conversations. Whether we agree or disagree, thank you for having the open mindset to express and have an exchange of ideas. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you so much for your live comments and your feedback. I appreciate you guys. But we have come to the end. I just want to ask you guys real quick, what's your final thoughts and takeaway from tonight's podcast? And how can people find you? And we'll conclude with that. I'll start with you, SoSodefff. Final thoughts and how can people find you?
Relationships is a give and take. Period. That's all I got to say. But my name, SoSodefff. You can follow me on TikTok. That's my biggest platform. And I mean, I'm on Instagram sometimes, but you'll find me on TikTok and I'll teach you some things. So follow. And if you don't want to follow, just view. Just watch my videos and laugh. That's it.
Yeah.
Give and take.
Yeah. And get that 6'5" husband. And get that 6'5" husband.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Hey, thank you, Fatty. Just dropped a super chat donation. Shout out to you, Fatty. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Will and the family. Hey, man, Fatty, always appreciate you for your live, for your comments and your super chat donations. I appreciate you, Fatty. Good to see you. See you next time on another podcast. Pass it to you, Amber. Amber, final thoughts, and how can people find you?
All right, I enjoyed the podcast, so thank you for having me. As far as those who are dating, I just want to say, be honest and be intentional. I say this to men and women: do not waste your time. Just put it out there, and if it's not what you want with that person, keep it moving, and it's okay. My biggest platform is TikTok, so you guys can find me there. Amber Marie, relationship coach. I have lives on topics like this all the time, and they're pretty massive. Like, I had like 900 people in my live sometimes. So we just have this discussion. So definitely hit me up.
All right, no worries. I definitely appreciate you been dropping some bombs, some gems tonight. Thank you for dropping that tonight. Excited to have you on.
Thank you.
And Too Wonderful said, shoot, I want a 6'5" woman like Candace Parker. All right, no worries.
Like
let me pass it to you, Life with Marianova. Maria, appreciate you being on tonight's podcast and being open to have discussion. What's your final thoughts and how can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Life with Maria Nova, Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube as Maria Nova. I try to keep my handles all the same, so people can find me. But I guess my final thoughts will be, do what makes you happy. Don't worry about gender roles, gender norms, traditions. That's what's important. Is that we're happy, whether you're with somebody, by yourself, you're with a bunch of people at the same time. That's, as long as it's making you happy, that's what matters.
All right, no worries. Just do what you make you happy. All right, Life with Maranova.
What?
He said, Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
No worries.
No worries. No worries. Thank you so much, Life with Maranova. Appreciate having the open conversation with you and the open discourse. Thank you so much. Excited to have you on. And last but not least, our married couple, go on Melanated and Married podcast. Final thoughts on how can people find you guys?
My final thought is communication is the best key.
Comprehension with that.
Yeah, what he said. My individual handle is @Lady Owens, but
everything is Melanated and Married podcast, and the end is an N.
Yeah.
On all social sites.
Melanated N.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. And Hakuna Matata to you guys.
And Will.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you inviting us on this platform. I think all men need to get their game up. So they don't have shitty drawers. They gotta get their game up, man. Come on now. Can't be doing this to these females out here in these streets.
Marie doesn't understand.
Hey, man.
all of us say is I've never heard my grandmothers talk about shitty draws. Never in my life.
Hey,
that's some down south there.
All right. But nevertheless, hey, Damien, always appreciate you. Always good to hear from the married perspective, and always good to see another man jump on and be part of this discussion. But I'll definitely drop the links for all these beautiful guests below. Definitely support them on their panels. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you get notification. We do go live next week. New panel, new topic. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Hopefully you guys can go to sleep after this because I'm going to be up after this discussion and try to think about what we discussed tonight. But shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for your time. You guys have a great night. Peace, y'all.
Thank you.
Peace.